What's good, YouTube? Bossco, we back again. I know I came on a lot later than I initially said. It was like 10:45. It's much later than that. We in here though. What's good with you guys? Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend, or no, good week. Getting ready for the weekend. Shout out to the Lakers closing it out in 6 games. I didn't know if that was going to happen tonight. I kind of felt like 7 games might have been on the horizon, but it was great to see them go ahead and pull it out like that, get it over with, even though Denver's been done with their series just a couple of days ago. So that series is going to be interesting to see how that plans out. Shout out to everybody watching from whatever channel you're watching from. I'm streaming on Bobby Thrift, Bosco Mitchell, and Bosco Mitchell and Bosco 2.0. I'm getting confused with my own names and channels. We got a lot to talk about today, covering some things that's posted in my Discord. If you want to join the Discord, which is free, go ahead and hit the link in the description. Join there, check it out, interact with us. I will be sharing content that I posted there throughout the week. Wanted to go live a little bit more, but just had a busy schedule, so I really couldn't get to any lives this week. But we're here on Friday night, about to get to it. Feel free to leave feedback in the comment section, blase. Let me know which channel you're watching from. And a big shout out to anybody here in the live stream and anybody watching on the replay. Don't really know where I'm starting. Just a few things to talk about. I mean, I guess the first thing we're talking about is the game. Great to see them get that dub. LeBron balled out tonight, 80 with 20 boards. I wish they'd have let him get his little 20 points as well. That would have been a good little look there, but it didn't happen like that. Shorter got thrown out for something I don't even know why he got thrown out. That was kind of wild to see because he didn't really do anything. Um, Draymond Green had the ball in his face, so I'm like, how is Shorter the one getting kicked out the game? I didn't think that was. Maybe he said something crazy. What did he say to him? I don't know. We got some releases coming out this weekend. Of course, we're going to get into that a little bit later. Of course, everybody knows the secret. No secret. The Thunder 4 is kind of one of the biggest things that people have been looking for. But what's the resale like on those shoes? You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who watched my video that I did drop today on Bosco Mitchell. Got a video coming from Bobby Thrift tomorrow and Bosco 2.0. I believe Sunday morning we'll have a video for that one too. If not sooner, but more than likely Sunday for Bosco 2.0 and tomorrow for Bobby Thrift. And maybe another one tomorrow for this channel too. I do plan to go live streaming a couple times this weekend. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about. What was your week like? Did you guys come across some stuff? I found some really good stuff in stores that I will go into. I did find some good things for retail arbitrage purposes for those of you guys on Bosco or on Bobby Thrift. I found some pretty good deals this week. Some of the connections that I built in the past came back to help me out a little bit this time too on some other stuff, which is why you got to make connections with these stores you guys go into for the retail arbitrage purposes. The more they see you, the more you become a regular. You'll be able to come up on some of the benefits like I did. Not that I came up on anything crazy, but just you get benefits when you do make genuine connections with the people that you see at these jobs who work there. Um, they'll look out for you as you look out for them, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, so retail arbitrage stuff, things in the store. We had the John Morant colorway, the second colorway drop that nobody really seemed to care about. I thought, the job one was going to be a little something there. I honestly thought the job one was going to be, I honestly said myself, the job one is about the colorways. The colorways is really going to make the shoe. I think his first silhouette might have sold out because it was the very first shoe of his line. You know what I mean? But the second colorway is not looking so good. Not looking so good. I mean, it's not selling out pretty much. That's what I'm saying. It's still a dope shoe. I don't really like the colorway. I'm not a fan of it, and I guess most people are feeling the same way too because you can find it anywhere you want to go. You can find it anywhere you want to go. So we'll have to see what's happening with the next colorway for the Jaw One. I believe the next colorway that will have some real activity or sold out would be that would have to be that scratch colorway, or maybe even that mismatch shoe. That might be something that a lot of people like. I do like that colorway. One shoe red, one shoe blue. I think that's pretty dope. I'm kind of looking at some links real quick that I'm trying to talk about in a second. We got New York losing to the Heat 4 games to 2. Um, I kind of expected the Heat to win that game or win the series. I don't have a lot of confidence in the Knicks. Anytime you have Julius Randle as your star player, I don't know if that's the best. And Brunson is cool, but I think when you have a contract year for these players, a lot of players play their best basketball when nobody's really expecting them to play well, so you can't really home in on them and like figure out what's their weaknesses. Once you get into the playoffs, that stuff gets exposed. I don't know what he really averaged this postseason, but I don't think he made noise like I heard the noise he was making during the regular season. And Jimmy Butler's a dog, so he's gonna ball out no matter what. And of course, he picks it up during the playoffs, as always, as his recent seasons have been. You know what I mean? So to get them out of here 4-2, I mean that's dope to see that the Knicks made it to the second round. You know, but it's funny because Cameron made a video dissing Spike Lee, telling them that they need Spike Lee to get out of here because Spike Lee doesn't really do much. He just kind of cheers on he cheers on the Knicks, of course, but he's always best buddies with the best player on the other team, and people not liking that. I don't know if y'all saw Cameron's post. I think that was pretty funny today. Eric, what's good with you, man? Welcome to the stream. How you doing this evening? Steph's 213, what's going on? How was your week for retail arbitrage? I'm gonna get into some of my finds earlier today or from this week. I had some really good turnarounds too. I found some items with some really good turnarounds. If you watch my last Bobby Thrift video, those Nike jerseys are all gone. There were 3 of them that I found, and the Ultra Boosts. I wish I would have had them. I wanted to go live that night to kind of show them, but I in my recent Bobby Thrift video, I found these Degram. I forgot the guy's name for the Mets. I guess he's not for the Mets no more, but the jerseys were only $25, retailing for $125 or $135. Uh, so those were good. I got both of those. I got all 3 of those off. One to somebody I know personally, and the other 2 sold. And then I also found those Ultra Boosts. There's a triple white Ultra Boost going around at Ross for $49 or $39. I think it was $39. $39. And I sold them both on Gold. I sold one on Gold the same day, and the other one sold the day after that. So Ultra Boosts are definitely popping. I didn't sell them for the 190 or 200. I lowballed them and sold them for like 140, 135, I think it was. If I'm not mistaken, I'd be mixing it up. Let me look at shit. And yeah, man, to sell them quickly like that doesn't happen too often. If I could find more shoes like that, I definitely will pick up more stuff that you see me come across in the Rosses and stuff like that. But lately I've been very picky with my buys because I'm not trying to sit on nothing. I'm not trying to have stuff around like that. The Ultra Boost 4.0 DNA Cloud White, I sold them for $131. Got them for $49. Sold them for $131. Pretty cool little flips. Like I said, within like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, it's the first one. So I was ecstatic because that just hasn't happened in a minute where they sell that quickly for me. The jerseys was cool because I got people that I know, through my Discord, through my Instagram. Through my Discord and through my YouTube membership. People who already buy things that I come across in the stores. So it makes it a little easier to get things off sometime. Not every time because you have to find the right stuff, of course. But lately, I've been very, 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 very picky when it comes to the things that I buy for flipping because, just things are so iffy. I'm not trying to sit on stuff. I bought a lot of things before in the past that weren't necessarily bad buys, but because I procrastinate for one, and then also, I procrastinate and don't post them when they should be posted. That's one thing. And then I think the other thing is just that some of the shoes I grabbed just weren't, I was trying to get too much for them. That's what it comes down to. Thinking you can get a certain amount of money for it and kind of sticking to that number. Sometimes, it's about the volume of things you move as opposed to getting the top dollar. It's better to get rid of the stuff and with some profit than to get rid of it when you have to break even or just to sit on the stuff for a long time. That's why I like the Amazon over eBay, even though eBay is still a good thing. And one thing that's also crazy is how Amazon is starting this eBay started this new eBay Live thing. Have you guys seen that? Gabe, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Eric, what's going on? Warriors tried and gave all they had, but couldn't execute. Okay, it might be the beginning. Yeah, no, that's definitely the beginning of the end for them. We feel like their team is going to be broken up. That's what it's looking like. The team is going to be broken up. What is the team going to do? The team's going to be broken up. I believe Draymond might be the piece that's gone. I don't know about everybody else, but out of Clay and Steph, I believe those two guys are going to stay with Jordan Poole on the team. They still got Wiggins probably coming back. I know some of their younger guys. Who knows what's going to happen with DiVincenzo and Kuminga, because they've been playing with him. He's a good player, but they've been flirting with him in the D League still, which is kind of crazy. Karen, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, them Jordan ones you talked about, they are trash. Nobody likes the utility Jordan ones with the pockets on the side, but it was a great thumbnail. It's a Jordan one under $100. Azula, what's going on? Lakers with the dub indeed. Great to see that. Like I said, I really thought they might have, tricked it off and let it go to 7 games, which I didn't want to see, even though I feel like Lakers would have still won and it would have been good ratings and just good for entertainment purposes. But I'd rather them get the game done, go ahead and not let Denver have too many games off, because this is going to be a hard series against the Denver Nuggets. I definitely could see it going 6 games. I mean, maybe 7, barring any crazy injury. Lakers in Boston is going to be the finals this year. It's kind of the vibes that I'm getting and the vibes that I'm seeing on the TV and everything from the commercials. Y'all seen that commercial where Bill Russell, RIP, passes a ring or a ball to Magic, and Magic passes it to Bird, and Bird and Magic have dialogue about who's going to win it all. Those guys both have 17 titles, both teams. It's going to be the battle for number 18. And believe it or not, today in the broadcast towards the end, that was the first time I ever heard them say something about both teams having 8, going for the 18. It was the first time I ever heard them say that, bro. First time I ever heard the announcers talk about that. So yeah, Boston, LA finals. I just hope the Lakers pull it off, because I want LeBron to get that 5th, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. The 5th. He got to get that 5th. That 5th ring. That kind of whoa. That's kind of where you separate yourself. That 5 rings. You know what I mean? 5 rings, that means he has to be at least number 2 on the list, no matter who else you count in the game. Right now, because he has 4, there's arguments for, movements in the top 5, top 3. You know what I'm saying? But if he gets number 5, he's automatically for sure number 2, and it just really depends on who you are, if he's 1 or 2. But with 5, I think that solidifies it for sure. Even though I think it's kind of solidified now, but there's a lot of hate going on, and there are valid reasons. You feel me? Thunders tanking. C, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Jordan 4 Thunders. That is definitely a shoe that is not really doing what it's supposed to be doing right now. Let me see. It's a shoe that a lot of people were looking forward to, obviously, and it's still a dope shoe. But one thing about it tanking, I look at it from both aspects, because, we do retail arbitrage as well as buy for the personal or collect shoes. But, it's good to see. It's good to see that it's not that high over retail. It's good to see this. I'm going to it right now, pull up and share the screen. It's good to see that they're not going for crazy numbers. From a consumer standpoint, I understand totally if you're somebody who resells, that sucks. But hopefully, that's the one thing when you build connections and you build a system and you build a backdooring situation. Sometimes you might get stuck with things that you might like or not like. For instance, if you're somebody who makes it smart and you get every release from somebody and you've been doing it for a while, and then now all of a sudden things are slowing up, but they're still counting on you to come through and get the whole stock still. How does that happen? What is that conversation like? Let me go through the forums right now. Big shout out to everybody here in the stream. I appreciate you guys coming through. Last one is said on my phone. Last one sold for $261. What's the retail? $210, so like $220 something after tax, depending on where your taxes is. So $229 out the door. Last one sold for $261. Some people are selling them for like $260, $280 in hand. And in hand is kind of where you get the most flips for it. You know what I mean? That's definitely 2 different avenues when it comes to reselling. Online with Gold, StockX, eBay, and then when it comes to hand, you definitely get a more of a margin if you have personal customers. So you probably get it off for a little bit more. But it's interesting to see this happen. I mean, it's not surprising because of the economy and just how everything is. But even some, I mean, some shoes out there have been holding their little value to them, little resale value to them. And I mean, these do have a value to them over the normal retail price. But what happens tomorrow when they actually drop? Of course, sneakers is going to say that they sold out. But I mean, will I see some in store on Monday? I know for sure my size will be going though. I don't think there'll be any 13s sitting, no 12s, no 12 and a half if they even have them in store, no 11 and a half for sure. Definitely won't be sitting around, but will we see, will I be able to go to a lot of stores and see them sitting around like that? You know what I mean? I was able to go around and see the Lucky Green sitting in stores for a while. You guys have been out. You guys have been seeing a lot of shoes sit around. Will this be one of those too? You know, even the Wizards threes, you can find them in certain places. You had to move around a lot. Like if you only had one or two stores, or you only go to like one or two or three stores, then maybe you might have run out of your luck because a lot of places they had smaller sizes left. I found a couple places that had a 10 or a 12, you know what I mean, every now and then sprinkled around. But for the most part, the sizes kind of went, especially the bigger sizes. And probably by the end of this weekend, some of the threes might be gone too as far as men's sizes because people are doubling back. The resale is not too, it's definitely, certain shoes definitely sell out slower than others. Some shoes just sit in stores, like the Cool Grade 6s are just there. You know, some other shoes, they trickle out and disappear a week or two later. You can't find them. But the days of things being gone right away, right when they release, never to be seen again until a restock, those days are definitely different. I'm sure you guys have noticed that. But yeah, man, I can just see this. But a good thing to see, you guys don't have to struggle and pay. Like I said in one of my last live streams, you don't have to pay retail. You might have to just pay, that ain't even nothing. Yeah, so you know. I'm sorry, I got a little distraction over here. Let me take this off. Big shout out to everybody watching from whatever channel you are watching from. If you're not watching from Bossco Mitchell, let me know where you're watching from. We're going over a few things that we came across today. So, shout out to you. But Jordan 4s is what we're talking about right now. They are tanking. Did get a chance to see them in stores recently, maybe like a month or so ago, and then a couple of days ago in one of my videos that I just dropped. It's crazy because when I saw them about a month ago, they had them in store for $450 to $500. Fast forward 3 to 4 weeks later, Cool Kicks had them for $300. Then a day or two after that, they're going for like 280, 260, 250. So they're slowly falling down. But like I said, it remains to be seen. This price might hike up a little bit in a few weeks when they're not around anymore because it is a Jordan 4, so don't get it twisted. Don't think you can sleep and fall it. You can sleep and then find these at the outlets. Look at me stutter. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just excited to be back talking to you guys, I guess. I don't know. It's been some days. I wanted to go every day, but it just didn't pan out that way. You know what I mean? Let me see where we at. Bob Myers. You think Kerr could be gone too? What do you guys think the fate is for the Golden State Warriors? How do you guys see that panning out? Do you guys see the Kerr leaving too? That'd be interesting if they let Kerr go. Who would they bring in to coach that team? You got Curry and Thompson as your cornerstone, so to speak. That's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. They got a lot of time to think about it too. Yeah, and like I said, we talking about all the topics: sneakers, sports, resale. So we're going back and forth with the topics. So you guys just chime in whenever you come in, and as I get to the comments, I'll go back and forth with it. But it's definitely hard to find things when we get on the bone. You're true about that. I had no shame. That's what it is. When I go to my retail arbitrage adventures now, I go to stores and I don't find something. I mean, I find some things, but I scan them and they don't have the resale. There's no copying them for content. There's no getting them to see if you can sell them for more. That those stages is done. A lot of times I will grab some things for the potential. I'm a patient person, so I know you have to get some things sometime and let them sit around for a little bit to kind of get what you want. It's a patient game. But when you get so much volume of stuff and you can't just continue to be patient for everything. You want to get some things, get them gone. You find them more deals. One thing, as I like throughout the stream, I'll bring up some of the things I came across. Now, a few weeks ago or months ago, I don't know if I went live. I feel like I did, but I feel like I didn't. But I have found some Crocs. One of the homies told me about a hookup. I guess some stores had some Crocs in the back that they forgot about or didn't realize was there, and they were marked down to $4.99. I believe I mentioned this before, but if I didn't, I came across a bunch of Crocs, men's sizes, two different colorways, some tie-dye colorway and some yellow ones, for $4.99, which is crazy because they retail for like at least $39, $35. You go to Marshalls or Ross, they're going for like $24.99 and above. So to find it for $9.99 was dope. A few of them had the full box, and some of them didn't. I had sent those into Amazon, and of course they're some of them sold, some of them are still there. But they Crocs always have great resale value, and the rankings are crazy. Two things: I found the number one seller. I think did I drop that video on Bobby Thrift? If I didn't, I will be dropping it in the next day or two. I found a number one seller at a Marshalls. If you guys find those blue Crocs, the blue Crocs is the number one seller for those of you guys who watching for Bobby Thrift. The Crocs, the blue ones, is the number one seller. You got to find them for your best price, because I think the value, I think the number one price of the what's the word? The buy box is at like $29. But if you hold them, you can get them for as much. You can get them off for as much as $60. So I found three of them for $19.99. So that was a super steal. I think it was like $19.99 or $24.99. Might have been $24. Either way, that's still a good flip, because I'm gonna hold them and sell them for like $59, $50 to $59. Number one seller, they're gonna sell quickly regardless. They probably sell still before you get them in there, because as we're getting into warmer months, people are buying those Crocs, and like I said, they're ranked number one. It's kind of hard to find a number one seller, bro. I'm kind of excited about that, because you don't really find them. You don't really find too many number one sellers unless you know exactly what the number one sellers are. Of course, you can do your own research to see what number one selling items are, which I probably need to do. Maybe I need to search for more. I need to do more research in that. But I just like to go out and see what I come across, and as I come across something, it's add more for the shock value. You know, um, Mr. Waters, what's going on with you, bro? Welcome to the stream. So you see nobody left in the playoffs beating AD and LeBron. I hear you. I'm kind of feel that way too. A healthy AD and LeBron, and AD tuned in. I guess game 1, 3, and 5, AD. Or game 6 tonight, AD is fine, where he scores like 18 but has 20-something boards and holds down the paint. That's still great. I think they got what it takes to win. I've said that before. They got a deep team. I feel like this is one of LeBron's best team, if not his best team, as far as most talent and deepest team. They can potentially in their roster go like 9, maybe even 10 deep, with players who could kind of be active and effective in the game. I don't know if he's been on a team before that could go that deep in the rotation. So I feel like this is his best team, which makes sense. He's been doing it and carrying the load for so long. So for people to at all try to flip it like he's falling off or he can't do it, you gotta understand. I mean, he is as old as he is, for one, but for two, he was doing it. To say that like, oh, he can't beat all the teams by himself anymore, like that's crazy. The fact that he was even able to do that. I mean, even then he wasn't doing it. He had great teammates, and he just knew how to utilize his teammates, and that's what it came down to. Always, it's about having the right personnel with him. After the trade deadline, they have the right personnel around him. It's two other guys. I mean, they're doing fine, but they got two other guys that if they got in tune with the action and did what they're supposed to do, Lakers would be super crazy right now. If Mikal Beasley and Troy Brown were even 25% better, they would even be more of a threat as far as the team. But they cool with what they got. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because if you have 10 players who can play, how do you really get minutes for everybody? But if you got 10 players to play, you can rest AD and LeBron and keep them around longevity type. So it's pros and cons to that. Hopefully, if they won it this season, I would love for them to run it back, but teams don't usually do things like that all the time. A lot of times they win, they switch things up because they want to improve, but you got to improve, maybe make some tweaks for, I don't know. Sometimes you can't give up on the team after a year. Now, when it comes to contracts and stuff, of course, that kind of separates it a little bit. You got Austin Reeves and some other guys on 1-year contracts or 1-year deals in a sense. So, but man, to run that team back, to get D'Lo back, to get Rui, to get Vanderbilt and Reeves and Schroeder, have those guys back. Those are key pieces to the team, along with AD and LeBron. Let AD and LeBron do they play, not play, play, not play. 'Cause that's what's gonna happen. And then you just keep the rotation deeper. Keep Mo Bamba. Get him some minutes on the team. He could be effective for the team. If you get him around LeBron and get some work ethic into him to come back to the season for the Lakers doing well, Mo Bamba could be effective down there. AD could play that 4-man that he wants to, and Mo Bamba could hold down the 5 spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could definitely be a party if they utilize Mo Bamba right too, like for next season. Because I guess this season he's just there, but he's a piece that they need to keep, man. I see he's trending all the time too. The fans know about Mo Bamba. He's always, anytime the Lakers play, Tristan Thompson and Mo Bamba have been trending. I don't know if it's for good reasons or not, but people know about him. Mo Bamba's a big that can dunk. Of course, he can dunk. He's 7'3", but he can shoot threes like well. So pick and pop with LeBron. Imagine the pick and pop with AD and him. I don't know how that would work though. I'm definitely rooting for that too. That's why that's what we're rooting for. LeBron to get number 5. I'm glad he beat Curry. You know what I'm saying? People try to keep saying, I felt Curry was a thorn in LeBron's side in a sense just because. But you got to understand, the 2 years that LeBron lost, they had KD. and KD joined a team that already won 72 games, bro. They were already a dominant team. They had to do that to beat Bron. I'm not going there. That's all facts, bro. They just lost to the dude 3-1 with the help of Kyrie. They knew once you somebody out and you come back from a 3-1 to beat them, it's going to be problems next time you face them the next year if you don't have some extra help. So they wouldn't rank KD, man. Enough said. But KD out the playoffs, good. He's a great player, but he ain't getting no more rings, bro. It's over for KD with rings. He's looking like he's kind of satisfied with it. I mean, I would be too if I was a great scorer like that. I did all I've done before, and I got 2 rings now, and I'm just playing to have fun now. Yeah, I'm gonna play for some teams so we can compete because I'm a competitor, but they're not gonna do nothing to Phoenix. Based on what I've seen this year now, it is the same thing I just said when it comes to the Lakers, like keeping the team. And we back like I never left. God damn it. The hell's going on here? Big shout out to everybody, man, for sticking around. Whoever did. Hopefully whoever was here and left comes back. I totally understand that. Yeah, man, my computer been tripping. I figured out what I have to do. It does need to be cleaned out as far as like a lot of dust and stuff inside. I do have a pet, has pet dander. I talked to somebody about it. I'm taking my laptop to the shop in a day or two. Just hadn't had a chance to do it today, and it's been working fine the last few days. So we back now. Big shout out to you watching from whatever channel you're watching me from, whether it's Bossco 2.0, Bobby Thrift, or Bossco Mitchell, this channel here. I appreciate all you guys trying to get this shit together. Got to get things back online because things are kind of frozen everywhere. Don't remember the last topic I was talking about. Probably the Lakers. That will be interesting to see what happens with that. The fines. I think I was talking about my recent fines also. So yeah, we're gonna jump back into that. Finding out. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Having connections, finding people. Not too long ago, I was able to find some Crocs for the low. I was talking about the number 1 sellers that I found, and I found those. I found 3 pair of the blue number 1 selling Crocs. I sent those in the FBA already. Got to get them off my hands quickly. But then I also came across, jumping right into it because we can't waste time. I got hooked up with some more pair of Crocs. These are some yellow ones, some yellow Crocs, men's size 11. Then I got some more of these tie-dyes. I guess some of the other stores had them in the back too and didn't know about it. And I told one of my homies, to check and see if they had some, and they still had some left, and I was able to get them at the $4.99 price. They also had the Crocs sandals, or like the slides. for $9.99, and I grabbed some of those too, and I sent them in. So those were some pretty good finds that I came across, and that was basically off a hookup. Me putting the beacon out there a while ago, and I guess they finding some more in the back, so they told me about them. So I went down there and scooped them up with the quickness. The ranking on those is under 20K, so those are pretty good movers too. Like I said, we're being more, picky, particular, selective when it comes to stuff. I have seen people say that they appreciate me showing, as Steph mentioned, there's not a lot of meat on the bones for stuff, so not everything is a grab and flip. Some things really don't have enough meat in the bones. You got a lot of people flooding things, flooding it, having so many items that they, drive the price down because they want to sell them. That hurts the game overall. You know what I'm saying? Is this real? Definitely. Yeezy returning, man. That's something that's pretty interesting to see. Wow. How many times am I gonna say interesting in this live stream? That's the thing. How many times will I say interesting in this live stream? There's a lot of interesting things happening this year, or this day. I don't see anything about that. Maybe if I saw something about it, I would believe you, bro, but I don't see it on my timeline. So we don't want to wish that on that man. Hopefully he's doing well, alive and well. Maybe just ain't popped up on my timeline yet, but I ain't heard that. I ain't heard of that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't even pay attention to that with that name. That's kind of wild. Who comes out with that name? Somebody tried to join my Discord with some wild name too. I had to block them. We only on positive, good energy things here, bro. We ain't talking trash about shit like that. You know what I mean? To keep it respectable when you're in the presence of good energy. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do around there. Everybody who's involved pretty much is on that same thing, or at least they act like it. Even if you're not truly on it, they at least act like it. I'm on it for real. Good energy, good vibes with people. I don't like people too at the same time. Is that possible? It's very possible. Fat Boy Kicks, what's going on with you, bro? How you doing? Word on the street is Mark Cuban's trying to make a move. They might make a move. There's rumors, so many rumors that the Kyrie sign and trade to Phoenix for Aiden, which would have Kyrie linking up with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I don't know. And then Aiden going over there teaming up with Luka. Luka probably needs a solid big that's going to do his thing, but Aiden's been so wishy-washy. Maybe it's because of the coach. Him and Monty Williams didn't get along. Monty Williams, is he out at Phoenix too? I'm curious what's going to happen with that. A lot of storylines for the off season besides that Wemby dude. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to get a pair. You never know, man. I mean, this is the thing. If you don't mind paying, okay, I know we don't like paying resale, but little resale is not too bad now because resale, $40 over the retail price is not bad considering what it would be, what it had been. I guess that's a good way to look at it, a positive way to look at it. And the thing is about that is that price is never really going to change too much. Well, in the foreseeable future, like the next 2-3 weeks, if there is a fluctuation and the price goes up, it won't happen for a couple weeks. So you got some time to still get yours for a little over retail. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing to consider. I appreciate it, Eric. Yes, sir, Gabe. I appreciate it. Both of you guys. I appreciate everybody in here, even if the signal goes in and out or down, because I think it's kind of weak right now. I don't know what that is. I mean, yes, I'm on a Wi-Fi connection, but 90% of the time I'm on a Wi-Fi connection and it works. Maybe at some point, I guess I will hook in my landline, so that way it could be off the line. But it works most of the time with the Wi-Fi because it's right next to the modem. You feel me? Eric, what's going on with you, bro? How you doing today? Kind of threw my flow off a little bit. We back though. We back floating. So yeah, I came across those Crocs. Somebody told me that they had them. They found them in the back, so that was a great thing to come across. Okay, so yeah, we got that. See, man, it kind of messed me up a little bit in my rotation. Boom. So we got this. Let me go ahead and bring this up. So what I'll do right now is kind of go over a little some of the things that I came across. A lot of this content you will see this weekend. So for you being here on the live stream, you're getting like a little early peek at some of the things I will be showing on my videos. But that's the point of being in tuned in. You get things a little earlier than some other people do. If you watch some of my videos to the end, If you watch them all the way to the end, you'll be able to see earlier content. You'll see more content on some of the videos. And if you're a channel member on YouTube, you get access to early videos as well. Shout out to the few people who are members of the channel. Trying to do some things to liven that up a little bit more so you guys can really get active with my channel membership. Because right now it was pretty much based on doing sneaker pickups. But there's also a couple other levels on there just for supporting the channel to get early access, and I'll have other benefits of that too. But of course, I got to get the numbers up to make it make sense. So yeah, check out my YouTube channel membership. They show you some of the perks for doing that. I hate to be sounding like an advertisement all the time, but I got to, man. I got to promote my own shit. I do. I really got to. I really got to promote my own stuff sometime. You have to do it all the time. I just don't want to do it too much where you guys get tired of it. I live on a main street, so there's so much action going on sometimes, especially on a Friday night. So I got people walking down the street, guys and girls, talking, laughing, and giggling. I got some crazy stuff on my channel that I gotta like not keep looking at. That's why I turned it off. It turned off right there. And then I live on a main street, so the traffic gets crazy. Kind of hate all three of those situations, but it is what it is. Hopefully, it's not too much of a hindrance on the situation. But who's gonna win? Drop it in the chat. I'll leave this scrolling up on the channel for a little bit during the live stream. Who you guys got winning the series, Lakers or Nuggets? And drop how many games you guys are thinking to take. Is there anybody who's gonna watch this who's thinking that the Nuggets are gonna win? How many people out there feel like the Nuggets will win this series? That's gonna be, I don't know. I mean, Nuggets are a deep team. Oh, hold up. Yeah, Nuggets are a deep team for sure. You know, they play well. They all go through Jokic, though. So that's going to be the interesting matchup. Is AD going to take the respect? That if that's the case, if AD stands up and takes that challenge of guarding the best player on their team, Jokic, that would be a great matchup. I don't think it'll happen, though, because AD can't be that agile. He is, but he shouldn't use his energy guarding Jokic, bringing the ball up and stuff like that. If AD's starting off on Jokic, they're gonna have Jokic be the point guard and literally bring the ball up to really tire out AD. So Vanderbilt's gonna be guarding Jokic. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen, bro. Vanderbilt's gonna start on Jokic. It's about Jamal Murray showing up and being the bubble Jamal Murray, or if he's gonna be like, I mean, he's been. It's like a lot of yelling outside, you know. But yeah, Jamal Murray has been playing a little bit better this season. You know, a lot of people say he hadn't shown up since the bubble. He hadn't played well, really good since the bubble. You know, so will he be able to hold it up when the lights is the brightest of the Western Conference Finals, biggest in his career? You know, that whole squad, except for KCP, doesn't know what it's like to be deep in the playoffs like this. KCP is the only one on that team, from what I remember, who's been this deep in the playoffs and is a significant player on the team, and they did it with the Lakers, you know. Nuggets in 6. I think he's joking, though. I think he's joking. Steph's what it do, bro. So, yeah, but gaming with Bossco is a channel that I have. It's still active. I haven't really been on it that much. But at one point, you know, I used to do, I did gaming content on there, playing 2K, one of them 2Ks, I forgot which year, maybe like 17, 18 or something like that. But one thing that I was doing the most that my videos were about, that I fell off of it because it's time consuming also. But I used to recreate the shoes that are in real life and put them in the game. A lot. Some of my videos did pretty well on the channel too, where I just create like a Kyrie 8. I would just create it in the game, and I would have my player wearing it. And because I play the game all the time at that time, so I would get comments even when I was playing. Oh, how do you do that? Or da-da-da, and I would link them to my videos. So some of those videos did pretty well. But I've seen that there's other people out there. Shout out to NBA 2K Kicks on Instagram. He's been doing that for a minute. He does a great job at it. But yeah, I used to do that and play. I used to play 2K, GTA. Sometime I streamed that as well as Fortnite, but that was a minute ago when it kind of first came out with some of the friends. But yeah, that's something that I'm maybe getting back into pretty soon. I have Call of Duty, haven't cracked it out the seal yet. That's like, that happens, man. You want something, you think about grabbing something, you get it, and then you just leave it in the wrapper and don't open it. I have the Call of Duty. I want to play with some of you guys. I want to play it because that's a good relaxing kind of game to do. 2K has kind of gotten watered down a little bit. So like Call of Duty might be my next thing. You know, I haven't played a shooting game like that since Halo. I was a Halo baby. I was in Halo heavy. Speaking of Halo, me and my crew was in the Halo heavy. And if you guys know one of the dudes in my crew, he was heavy in the Halo too. And one of his shoes had the Halo, had the Halo mark on the back. I gotta bring these out and explain these. These are some Gilbert's. This is the Adidas Light Strike 2. This is Gilbert Arenas' first silhouette, the OG silhouette. Got all like the little Halo. It's dirty as hell. I gotta clean it off. But they got like all the little Halo. Hold on, where's the lighting at? All the little Halo guns. Got some of the Halo characters on here on the toe box, I think, or just more of the guns, the ammunition. I'll do a review. We got Halo 3 logo right there. Let's see the sign. Like Halo 3. Can y'all see that? Yeah, we was really into the Halo. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was really into the Halo when Halo 1, 2 was out. When he was not playing his games, we was definitely live streaming playing Halo on the same team, doing that. Yeah, these is crazy. But no, Halo was you got the Bungie or whatever who makes Halo right there, logo on the back. Shoes is dope, all black. I wonder if they bring these out when they bring back the silhouette. But the Halo edition was definitely a dope shoe. If you look this up on a GOAT, because it's not on StockX, but if you look it up on GOAT, it's definitely going for a pretty penny. A brand new pair, obviously, with the box. Definitely going for a pretty penny. These are some pretty dope shoes, though. But yeah, Halo was the thing for me. You know, Halo was the shit. I don't know what about it, but Halo was dope. I liked Halo over Call of Duty and all that other stuff. And I'm mad that Halo kind of stopped. And I'm mad that Halo's only Xbox. If Halo could come over to be on both platforms, I would jump right back into Halo. But I'm on the I'm on the PlayStation side of things. I'm not really an Xbox guy. And I like Call of Duty because it's crossplay. If 2K did crossplay, it would set that game on fire. I mean, of course, they had to make the game good, but if they had crossplay on 2K, like Fortnite has crossplay, like COD has crossplay, 2K would be on another level. I don't know why they're not bringing it together. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they'll start to do it again. Nuggets in 6. I want Lakers to win, but hopefully in 5 games. Yeah, hopefully it would be dope to see Lakers win 5 or 6 games, and then the Eastern Conference Finals goes to 7 games, so that way everybody's tired and Lakers have the advantage of being rested. I don't want to see Jason Tatum beating LeBron in the finals. I don't want to see that. They're trying to pass the torch to Jason Tatum right now and force him to be a face of the league, which he might be a face, but he's not top 5 face in the league for me. But maybe for a lot of you guys, he might be average damn near 30 points. But I feel like I got 5 guys over Tatum that I would pick. I feel like there's 5 guys in the league I would pick over Tatum to be on my team. And even if you went by position, because what is his position, a small forward or a power forward? I think Tatum's probably more on the small forward, and Jaylen Brown's the shooting guard, or is it the other way around? Bubble rematch, Nuggets and was that the finals that year? Was that the Western Conference Finals in the bubble, or was it just a matchup in the playoffs? I don't remember. Luis Miguel, what's going on with you, bro? Resale right now. I just pull it down. Let me pull it back up. Resale right now. The last one sold for $260. It's not much over retail, which is a good thing. And I feel like it's going to hover around that price or go even a little bit lower because the shoe drops tomorrow. So you might even be able to get, it might tank a little bit. Tomorrow might be your best bet to grab them off of sneakers. I mean, off of like StockX. Might be. Don't quote me on that. But let me bring that up for you right now. Really quick. Shout out to everybody watching, no matter where you're watching from and for how long you're watching for. I appreciate it. If you can do me a favor before you leave, at least hit the like button on the stream. That helps me out. Let me know you guys are liking the streams. And of course, that helps push the algorithm or push YouTube to show this to more people, because that's what it's all about. Okay, so the last one, see, this is what's good about the StockX for sneakers, that I didn't know Eminem was behind this. And what other guy? There's like 2 celebrities that's behind StockX. I had no idea. I just heard somebody talking about that, like co-owners of StockX, Eminem, and 2 other big dogs too. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But
Yeah, they make it live. They liven the stakes every time. They let you know what's going on. Well, we were looking earlier. 260 was the recent sell. Now 313 is the most recent sell. So it kind of went up a little bit more from 260 to 313. A movement is a movement, whether it's a lot or a little. That's still a movement. It went up a little bit. Some people are going to be impatient, So if you're somebody out there who for sure has a pair that you're trying to resell, if you don't already do this, you should put the shoe up for available for sale a day or two before you grab it. If you for sure are getting a pair, that helps you get a better chance of selling them higher. For the first time I've ever seen, maybe it's happened before for those of you guys who resell on GOAT, but I got a notification from my GOAT app or my Alias app telling me if get ahead of the game and post for it said something about for the best benefit, post the shoe now if you have it. Pretty much what I just said, it said it. That's what kind of reminded me to say that to you guys. I got a notification telling me that if I have the shoe now, best bet is to post the shoe available now before it actually drops to increase my chances of selling. They never really said that before. I never really got that notification. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to that. They always let you know what buyers are looking for, or they'll send you a notification about what's selling more, but I never got a notification telling me list them early so you can have a better chance of selling them. That was different. They said in the last 3 days, 1,001 of these have sold. So these are on fire. Circulation obviously is dropping. I mean, it's moving right now. You could buy it now for $249. Let me go to a 13. Let's go to my size, because my size is a little different from other sizes. What's going on here? Does this not go up to? Oh, there are weird sizing with this. Some of my people was telling me that there was some stuff about the sizes. I believed them, but I just didn't look further into what he meant. Is there no size 13 in this shoe? I'm glad I wasn't going after it in the first place. There's no size 13 in this. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I had no idea that was the case. Shout out to everybody joining the stream. If the signal gets a little rough, it'll come back real soon. So I apologize for that. But I had no idea. I didn't look into it until right now that these Thunders don't come in a size 13. So if you were looking for a 12 and a half or 13 or even a 14, I guess you're out of luck, because StockX only has it up to a size 12. I didn't know that. Yeah, Steph's, man. Like right now, look with 2K23, I built up a guy, but never really got his shot together. My jump shot is not the best, so I'm more of a defensive guy, rebound, assist, and steal the ball from the guards who cheese. And one thing that I can't do in 2K23 and enjoy it that I did in 2K22, like 2K22, 2K21, like the cheese has gotten crazy. The skill gaps is what it is. Everybody argues about those type of things. I don't care. It is what it is. There are skill gaps. There's no skill gaps. The game is kind of crazy, but one thing that I was able to enjoy in 2K22 and 21 and definitely 20 was the fact that I could go play in the rec by myself without having any friends and be able to have a good game. It would feel like when you go to the park, you just pick up with random people. People played a certain way. In 2K23, these people ain't passing the ball. They don't really want to play with you unless they know you. Like, and I get it. I don't talk on my microphone. I go into a private party, so I can't hear nobody say nothing to me. I'm just in my own zone. But yeah, man, I play the rec now, and I can't get a good game in, really. The people quit. They don't match you up with the right players. Like, as far as like, you'll have a whole bunch of dunkers and no shooters and no rebound. Like, it's crazy. 2K23 is definitely fell off for me. But there is some enjoyment. Like, if I got with a team I could play with and they understand how I play and I understand how they play, we can make some noise happen, because I lock down the guards. I can't really shoot like that, but I in the game, but I can knock down. I can lock down the guards, and I can get some points in there. I really want to play with some people who can shoot, and I can get them the ball. You know what I'm saying? In 2K. Cali Perks was good. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? What channel are you watching from, Cali Perks? Are you watching from Bobby Thrift or Bossco Mitchell? I'm not sure. Which one you watching from? Easy Money, what's going on? Shout out to you, my dude. One person that supports the channel and is in the Discord. He definitely shares his energy in the Discord with us too. Discord is in the link in the description if you guys want to join it. It's free. We just chill out, talk about different things, share information. I funnel a lot of my stuff that I will be talking about in the live stream podcast later on from my notes type of thing, as opposed to trying to save everything on every platform. I just put everything on my Discord. The only thing that's there for paying is if you want to like donate, or if you want to become part of my sneaker retail pickups, you can join through my Discord. Or if you follow me on Instagram and I'll post something for sale that's either in store or just in general, you can use a Discord link to buy it. Even if you're out the country, that's kind of why I have that set up. It's through PayPal, so it's all verified. You know what I mean? Let's scroll down. I'm trying to scroll down. It's not. I'm like, they gotta have a 13. Maybe my computer's okay. Why was it not letting me scroll down? That's crazy. So 258. Yeah, my shit tripping right now. Damn. It's just moving a little slow. So I could buy a size 13 right now for 259, which would probably be like 280 after fees and everything like that. Which is what I just said people are selling them out in the streets for. About 280 is the going price right now. 300 if you go to Cool Kicks. So, like every time the shoe does drop a little bit as the shoe's coming out, but some people get impatient. Some people want it right then. They don't want to wait to see what they're going to catch an L or whatever tomorrow. They might have caught an L earlier. Wait, yeah, they might have already caught an L somewhere else. But, if you want them, I would definitely still put your footwork in for them. They're not going to be the easiest shoe to grab. It is a Ford. It is one of the hype shoes out there. I mean, I haven't seen a Ford sit around like I saw these other retros sitting around. So I doubt it. Maybe no men's sizes will sit around on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe Sunday you might find a couple. Who knows, man? It's really hard to say. Like at one point, I feel like these would go because they're Fords, but you just don't know. You just don't know. Everything fluctuates so much. You know what I mean? Big shout out to everybody here watching. I don't know how many times I said that, but it's very true. I see the numbers coming in and out. So, as people joining, I'm re-greeting them in here. People were here earlier, but we had an intermission. We had to take a little break because, whatever, we took a break and some people left. So if you're coming back, welcome back. And if you're here for the first time, big shout out to you as well. Let me pull this up now. Let's see. Lakers in 6, Lakers with the dub. Wait, Lakers with the W on game 6. Yeah. So do you think they'll win in 6 games against Denver too? Sound like you're a Kings fan. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings, man. They had a great year. You know what I mean? It is then, they just, they lost to the Warriors, who are still currently the defending champions until somebody wins this year. You know what I'm saying? So Facts 32, what it do, my guy? How you doing? Hey, what it do? And man, Clippers, man, ain't heard nothing else from them. We gotta see how that handles, how that turns out. We don't know yet. LA definitely should do well this year, though. All right, so we floating back. We're going back and forth. Hold up, I'm gonna mess myself up. So got my Discord right there set up to go. I'm gonna go ahead and share some of the stuff from my Discord. Like I said, link in the description. Hopefully we can get through this. I'm gonna go through. Do I have my RA pickups here? How many RA pickups do I have right here? I feel like there. Yeah, I think I showed you that. I feel like I put more in there, but I didn't. Shout out to everybody filling in for the kid day. There's a section in the Discord where you can post the shoe that you wear. Just a sneakerhead thing. This is me right here posting the Wild 10s. I like those shoes. They're not too bad. The Way Away 10s, they're pretty comfortable. I was walking around in them. They are snug around the toe area. So, I mean, the cushioning feels great, around the ankle and Achilles, but around the toe area on your pinky toe, it's a little snuggish right there. That's the only thing about that shoe. And their price is a little high, but they have Leading has or Way Away, whichever one. Their website has had them on sale. So they're not going for $275. I think they're going for like $150 or something like that. If you guys are looking forward to those. We got the foam posits, the penny PEs, the white colorways. Of course, Air Max 95s. For some reason, I feel like I see so much more than the previous time. pennies. I think we might have shown these the last time. Somebody already rocking the Thunder 4s. Jimmy, we are Jimmy. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Let's see. Okay, this definitely has some new stuff. Around all the Nike stores, around all the Foot Locker stores, if you go, you'll see this big Nike sale. A lot of red tags on a lot of different shoes in the stores. A lot of red tags on a lot of shoes in the stores. They're doing inventory checks. They're finding out things that they need to put on the shelves for cheaper. This shoe right here is another retail arbitrage find that I found at a Foot Locker. They had them in the back. Found this one for $39. There's some pretty good resale to them. I had to ship them off to Amazon. I forgot the name of them. Let me see. James, what it do? Welcome to the stream, bro. How you doing today? What is the deal? These are some Adidas 4D forward pulse. You know that 4D technology on these. Not a good shoe. I mean, I wouldn't really see myself grabbing them, but the ranking for them is pretty decent on Amazon, and this size was a pretty good situation. So once I found them, I had to scoop them up. Pretty good situation. Found 2 pair of these. These are some of the finds I came across within this week. And then one of the other ones that's not on the Discord, I found another pair of these. These boots are pretty cool. I like the color combination. I like what's going on. It's black and white with the hints of like this fuchsia or this pink. But just the black and white, you got the different patterns on here. Not a bad Ultra Boost at all. You know, like I said, I found those Ultra Boosts at Marshall. No, found the Ultra Boost at Ross for $40. Sold those for like $130. So that was a good thing. So this was hype. I was hyped to find this. Plus, I had this with the full box, so I got more options to sell it, whether I want to do it on GOAT or something like that. But this was another RA pickup that I came across. Pretty dope Ultra Boost. I mean, if I found a 13, I might consider keeping it. But then again, you know, I'm also not really trying to buy too many shoes this year. But it's definitely that time. You'll find the big sales going on. A lot of these stores. I show in my retail arbitrage channel, Bobby Thrift, that you don't only have to go to Marshall's, Ross's, and stuff like that for the discounts because, of course, the outlets have their deals too. But sometimes the retail stores have some shoes for even better prices than the outlets do. Then if you have a 10% coupon or a gift card, you can put extra savings on top of it too. So you don't just have to go to Burlington, Ross, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, or the outlets. You can also go to the actual stores now and find some good things on sale, depending on what you're looking for, what kind of market that you're in. If you're doing that, you know what I'm saying. But that was a good thing to see. I mean, a lot of people have been seeing that. I've been showing on my reels and in my videos the 99, the 79, the 49, even $39 tables that these Foot Lockers have been having. Hopefully, more and more good shoes are start popping up there for cheaper. Air Jordan 37s. You're not seeing anything too crazy go there yet, but you are seeing some things of value for gifts for people. And I mean, depending on your platform or how you do it, you might be able to find some profits for it. You know what I mean? But a Jordan 37, which retail for 200 or 175, is not really nothing when it's selling at $99. That's still not enough profit for me. For most of you out there, I'm pretty sure too, probably feel the same way. See, don't like sneaker news. This colorway for the dunk is not bad. You know, this blue one. I like the little wave feature. I seen this all black one the other day that was very similar to this. I don't know if it's like a pack that they're doing right now when it comes to these dunks with the little wave feature all over the toe box. The other one I saw was in foot stores. I got different channels with different categories that you can participate in or just check out and see what's going on. You know, on my Instagram, for my channel members, some of them are there, but for the most part, I do all of this on my Discord. When I'm out and about in the streets, if you guys are people looking for things, either to see what's in the area by your store or just seeing what's out there, or if you're somebody shopping with me, a way to see things in real time is through my Discord. So I just kind of show some of the things that are in there. I went here to show something else really quick too. Hold up. I'm going to get back to that. I should have had to start at the top. Let's see if I can remember what I was even going to say right now. I don't. So it's cool. It's cool. But over the course of the foot stores. I was showing what was in foot stores. Drew a blank real quick. Plus my signal's going down. So it is what it is. Let's see. Yellow laces. When the Ultra Boost makes them come alive. Yellow. Yeah, the yellow on this Ultra Boost, definitely. I don't even see where the yellow comes in anywhere else besides the laces. Only thing on here is yellow is the laces, which is crazy. Not even on the insole. There's no hint of yellow nowhere else but the laces. That's kind of different. But it's a dope thing. You gotta be creative with your stuff, you know what I'm saying? Posted them. I posted them in your I did. Okay, you posted them in your copping section. Go there and see what you're copping. You can show what you're copping, show what you find out there in the streets. What are these? Skechers. You bought some Skechers. Shout out to the Skechers. Wear what you like. Don't just, shout out to you for buying some Skechers. You bought them for yourself or your parents. That's dope. I'm on my year 12s. You just picked up a pair. Orlando jersey. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're talking about these dunks with the waves on them, and you posted them in yours, and I saw them in stores too. I saw them I think I saw them after you caught them in the thing. It was crazy. That's usually how it goes, though. But yeah, this colorway is not too bad. I think they look better in black. The all black upper with the white midsole had the waves all over them. Not a bad shoe. I posted them somewhere too, but I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Yeah, but that colorways, that vibe with the waves on them, I don't know what the whole purpose of it is, but it's not a bad thing. It looks cool in the blue colorway I just showed you guys recently. This black one's pretty on point too. A lot of stuff out here that's definitely on point. Let's see what the most recent message is. Reminder of taking L's, buying the Jarritos, buying some drinks. Will there be a stock on the Jarritos this year? Probably not. I know a lot of people went crazy for those shoes. I do have a few people that I associate with, including Eric in the chat, that won. Shout out to anybody else who won a pair of the Jarritos, whether it was a special box or not. That is a dub for sure. Apparently, We Are Jimmy found some of the LeBron 20s at the debut colorway at the outlet also. They've been at Ross and Marshalls. Now they're flooding the outlets too with the extra 30% off, because I guess there's some deals going on. Maybe I think it was 20 and 20 or 30 and 30 the last few days or last weekend, which is dope to see. Really good to see these deals, man. Gives you guys an opportunity to catch up on stuff you might have missed on, or just catch up on stuff to flip, depending on what your avenue is and how you're going about it. I definitely took a L on sneakers, like a lot of people did out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Community chat. Yeah, these are the Ultra Boosts right here. These are the Ultra Boosts that I found that sold for me instantly. See somebody else in the Discord found the same one. So these are definitely floating around. So even if you're somebody looking for personal, you can find some Ultra Boosts for $50 at Ross. Of course, you don't get the box, but at least you get the shoe. All white ones. They went pretty quickly too, very quickly. I was kind of surprised to see them go so quickly. Now, had I been like I was back in the day, a few months ago, if I was to be like I was and wanted to get it for the whole 190, like I would have put them up for like 180, 190, and I probably would still have them in my possession. But because I put them for like the 130 or something like that, they went quickly, So it's about that too. It's about knowing, flipping it quickly, unless you have the storage or the patience, which I have the patience, but I still at the same time just don't want to be sitting on stuff and looking at stuff every day until it sells. I'm kind of over that stage. I'm kind of over that. Yeah, so I sold them for 131. Bought them for 39, sold them for 131. I'm not mad at that. Made some money there, got it in and out of my possession. I got the content I needed, so it's in one of my videos. I don't know if I dropped that video yet on Bobby Thrift. I might have. Is that my last release? I think it was. So I was able to do that. That's dope. Same thing with them jerseys. They didn't sell the same way. They didn't sell on GOAT or nothing like that, but they were going pretty quickly, but not like these Ultra Boosts. I was surprised, bro. I grabbed them. I listed them before I even left the store, which is the best thing to do. list them while you like right when you get them, so that way you don't have to worry about forgetting to post them. With like I've done on plenty of things, list them as soon as you get the stuff. You don't have to worry about it no more. The only thing is if you list on multiple platforms, that's where it gets like maybe a little time consuming. Because at one point I was listing on like 5 platforms, and that's where you get caught up with the forgetting to take a listing down when you sell it somewhere else, or thinking you put it up because you put it up on 3 out of 4 out of 3 out of 5, and then you look on the other 2, you don't have it there, and it could have sold there quicker. I had a lot of that going on because it was Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, StockX, Fight Club, Alias, and I feel like there's one more. So like 7 platforms trying to sell these same products, listing them on 6 to 7 platforms for everything. Most of them you can list on at least 5 of them, 5 platforms, and then just keeping track of all that inventory and where you posted, where you didn't post it, and yeah, I got tired of all of that. So just, that's why I fall back a lot on a lot of things I find. This is a pretty good find, $12.99 for 85. That's some definitely profit to be made there. Again though, these are good finds, the flip ratio, but how long would it take to sell these? They're dope though. They are dope. What are they? The official sponsors of championship. Yeah, I feel like this is just some Nike apparel. So I mean, those might be good finds. Not saying that they're not good finds. There's definitely resale there to them. But how soon will they sell? And that's the part that I had an issue with. I got a lot of dope things I found. I found the Kevin Garnett, KD jersey, the Golden State Warriors City jersey, the year they won a championship. Retail is $210. I found them at Ross for like $29-$29. I still have them. Also because I'm trying to get close to what they're worth. Plus he's far removed from a championship. I know OG is kind of iffy, but then again, that makes sense because he won for that team. He hadn't won since. I would have thought them things have sold more or quicker, but I am posting them for closer to what they're worth. If I listed them for $100, maybe they'd go. On my website, Bossco's Goodies, I have them up for $90. I have everything up on my website cheaper than I sell them everywhere else. So that's one of the benefits of shopping on my website, Bossco Mitchell, or Bossco'sGoodies.com. Link is in the description, of course. Somebody just bought some, we got one rolling, and now a couple more have trickled in. I just sent those out yesterday. One thing you guys have to do when you check the website is, and I will say it more in my videos, for my own protection, I have a shipping policy that you have to allow up. It's anywhere from 7 to 14 days for shipping, up to. So just because you get it and don't get it in 2 days, 3 days after, my policy, as you see on my site, it says that. I had an issue with somebody trying to do a chargeback because he didn't get it in 4 days. I'm like, hold up, my website says this. What are you doing? So I already have my receipt. I sent it off. He got the stuff. It's fine. Then somebody else tried to scam me. Gotta watch out for the scammers. I don't know if he's watching right now or not, because the only way somebody buys from my site is by watching some of my content. Dude tried to say I sent this dude a jersey. He tried to say I sent him the wrong jersey, but when he sends pictures of the 2 jerseys, one jersey I have and the jersey he said I sent him, I never had that jersey. I'm like, what's up with this? But as long as I get my money back, I'll figure everything else out. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. The dude tried to do that. Once I get more detail of it and once the thing's settled, I'll go ahead and put that on blast too. But somebody tried to get a little funny. But it is what it is. I ain't tripping. You gotta understand the way things are going nowadays. People are gonna try it every which way. And it was a Dodger jersey. Dodgers are in season, so he might, whatever. Fuck that dude. And I'm getting my fucking money back. And I want to get my jersey back, but if you be a dick and don't send it, nothing I can do. But they'll make sure to get my money back though. So yeah, fuck you. I'll say that. Trying to scam me. Yeah, that's from the heart. I mean that one, because I didn't like that actually. Now I think about it, I didn't like that. Dude tried to say I sent him the wrong jersey. He sent me a jersey. He sent me a picture of a jersey I never had in my possession, ever. And then I say, send back my jersey in the chargeback. He don't want to reply and shit. Like, oh, you're trying to scam. It's cool though. It's all good in the hood. It's definitely all good. It's not all good, but it's all good. They call the Black Dunk Canvas Premiums. Okay. So those are premium dunks. Officer Cujo, what's going on with you, bro? Oh yeah, good question, Eric. What you call it? Yeah, I actually stopped selling my Zippy toys. I don't sell my Zippy toys so much anymore because maybe I mean, you know, one can't take so much credit for nothing. You know, it is what it is. It's a world that everybody knows these things. I didn't invent anything. I didn't none of that. But once I was posting about them Zippy paws, all of a sudden, them things became so flooded. And then, like everything else, the price went on them went up, so the margins is not the same. Every now and then, I go back and try to scan to see, and it just not really cutting it out like that. By them moving the prices up and then becoming a little flooded, it's not as attractive no more. And that sucks, man. That sucks, Eric, because those were some hitters for me. Same thing with my ramen noodles. I had found me a little flock with the ramen noodles because they were selling them 5 for $1, 6 for $1. Like they had them cheap. Now you can only get 4 for $1 or 3 for $1. Or the 6-pack that I was buying that was like $1.99 is now $3.99. So that even changed. And yeah, man, like it's just the way it goes, man. You gotta go with the ebbs and flows of all the games. All the markets go up and down. But yeah, man, I was killing it with those Zippy paws, and I ain't bought a Zippy paw yet. I don't know how many places I went, how many locations I was going around grabbing Zippy paws, which are dog toys. If you guys don't know, they had great resale on them though, for sure. Especially like you could sell them probably any platform and do well, but it's nothing like sending it somewhere else and then boom, they take care of everything. And then you got the biggest market in the world when it comes to FBA, High Velocity, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream. Shout out to you and your birthday. Now 21 years old. Big shout out to you. Happy birthday. Take a couple shots. I'm actually about to take one in a second. Now that we're like deep into the thing, I can cuss a little bit. I can drink a little bit. Maybe even take a little puff or two without me having to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's past the 30-second mark of the video, whatever that BS is. But yeah, happy birthday to you, and definitely happy to see them take advantage and do what they're supposed to do. Not let this linger on for another series. This kind of shows that they're ready to do what they have to do as far as like dominating. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully so, bro. Hopefully they can keep that up. Hopefully they can keep that up. Who do you have winning, Lakers or the Nuggets? How many games? I feel like I'm all over the place. Hold on. Okay. Shout out to Diddy, man. Let me see where else we were with it. Let me just go down and listen to how I was thinking about it. So in foot stores, my last week, let me scroll up to the top. My last week of going out was pretty interesting. There it goes again. Pretty good selection of sneakers that I found in the stores. I mean, you guys have seen everything as I'm scrolling to the top to scroll down, but it is what it is. Went to a store and got told I couldn't record in there, and I left instantly. I wasn't tripping. I got enough content in there before they told me I couldn't record. So it don't matter. I'm like, your store is the one who's sitting here with nobody in here. Your store is the one that got floor employees just sitting here talking to each other about all kinds of random shit in the world because nobody's coming in to buy nothing. So like, you need people to promote your stores. I don't know what these guys are thinking, but it is what it is. I'm not mad about it. You guys will watch my content and see what I'm talking about. But I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we came across some more dunk mids. I've seen them in a couple colorways. This is the first time actually catching this one. Not feeling it, but it's different from what I've seen. They have a black one that looks a little bit more interesting. Dunk mids, never really been a fan of them. Still not a fan of them. It's just good to see them, I guess, back out there to give somebody else another option. Do dunk mids get the same attention or same, hate like Jordan 1 mids do? That's not for me to know. Maybe you guys can say that. We all know the lows are the ones everybody loves. Dunk highs don't really get the respect like that. Are mids more respected than the highs? Somebody who's a dunk lover out there will let me know. I'm not necessarily one of those. They do have nice shoes. Of course, dunks are dope, but just not my thing. You feel me? Pegasus 39 PR, Pegasus 40 premium. New Pegasus 40 already has like another addition to the model with the 3 Nike swooshes on the side. Seen these at the Grove. The Grove has had a pretty good selection lately with the shoes. As far as like when you're looking for other things, of course, the hype stuff doesn't stay there. You guys know how that goes. But as far as other selections and other models of shoes, they definitely held it down. Dunk lows, that brown kind of suede thing is pretty cool. I have had some people ask for them, but hadn't really found them in the size. It's so iffy with these dunks. It's, some lows go crazy, some lows don't, even to this day. I feel like they kind of all are kind of like dunks never die, but they kind of are like chilling. The Pandas is kind of overdone in a sense, but I was talking to one of my boys today, depending on your market, you know what I'm saying? How you go about it is where you can sell them at, online, StockX and stuff like that. Maybe not so much, but in the streets, you still kind of have a pretty good resale value to them. You know what I mean? You definitely do. If you have a customer clientele already built, you definitely do. Shout out to these guys on Instagram who's really, really moving units. You know what I mean? Really, really moving units. I talked to somebody the other day that I didn't even realize I did something wrong to, in a sense. When you say, like, somebody asks you to post something and then you say you're gonna post it and you forget to post it, then you post it later. But when you don't post it, I think you didn't on purpose. But at one point you think that's kind of childish, but when you got people who are resellers, the post of you getting something from them kind of really helps them a lot because it shows that you are trustworthy, another client, another person buying from them. So word to the wise, if you guys buying from people out there and they ask you to shout them out. And I had to do that. I posted it on my I posted it in one of my stories the other day. Shout out to the homie for that. I should have did it a little sooner. I forgot though. I'll be messing up, you know what I mean? And of course, it's not a big deal, but because this is the homie trying to get into the resale game, or he's newly into it, I want to make sure I shout him out. So I did. Let's see. So a couple colorways of the dunks, not too bad. The green one, the brown one, both of these are women's dunks. Maybe see some people wearing them. Spring, summertime vibe for sure. The Zoom GT jumps. This shoe is something that's it looks pretty appealing. I feel like it might be a little bulky, and I also feel like this is the type of shoe AD needs to wear. This right here, the GT jump, is something that AD needs to wear. He's been doing okay with the LeBron 20s. He's been wearing the LeBron 20s all season. So it's good to see he's wearing the LeBron 20s, and like his ankles and everything has been cool. Knock on that wood. But like these GT jumps is something that he needs that's the type of shoe he needs to wear. This is the shoe that looks like it would be a AD signature shoe. You know what I mean? But no, he wants to wear the low LeBron 20s and low cut Kobe's for his 7-foot self, which I don't know if it makes sense. GT cut 2, the low cut. This one here is that Devin Booker colorway. They're just trying to tease Devin Booker as much as they can. Devin Booker this, Devin Booker that. Well, Devin Booker's home now. On TNT, they say he gone fishing. D-Book, KD, gone fishing. Chris Paul. Is Chris Paul retiring this season, or is he sticking around longer? How many years is Chris Paul? This is all questions that you can just be answered whenever you feel like answering it, or whenever you're watching this, whenever you get a chance to see that part. Chris Paul. Is he retiring? I'm going to go back to these shoes, but is Chris Paul going to stay with it and play another season or two? Or is he done, bro? Because every year he gets to the playoffs, second, third round, this happens. Every year. Every single year, bro. Every year he's relevant and can get there. You know what I mean? His best bet is to go sign the league minimum and sit on LeBron's team. But Lakers are probably not going to make that move because they want to stay with the youth. That's what they got to do. You got to have old and young and old, you know what I mean? To balance out the roster and things of that nature. Vanderbilt was a savior, low-key, for the Lakers of the team. Like, low-key. Low-key. Vandy's kind of one of, He's like one of the unsungs out there. He don't really get no mention at all. But him coming through, youthful, athletic, agile, can guard bigs and smalls. The youth part of it. You mix that with LeBron's, they're gonna be fine. They get one more young, youthful dog next season. If Mo Bamba can be that guy, he's still fairly young. I know he has a foot problem, so that might be a little iffy. But yeah, Chris Paul. What's gonna happen with Chris Paul, man? Is Chris Paul playing next season, or is he done? That's the question, man. High velocity thinks Denver in 6. Denver in 6. Okay. Yep. Had similar experience on eBay. This person bought 4 pairs from me, claiming I sent destroyed product. Yeah, and the thing is, like, that's the thing. I've had that type of exact scenario happen too. I sold some designer shoes, some Dolce and Gabbana shoes, and I guess the person probably had buyer's remorse. They were like Louis Vuitton shoes, actually. He might have had buyer's remorse, and he did this to the shoe, and like the shit split, and he sent it back. That's not how I sent the shoe. The shoes were in good shape. I don't know what he did, how many times he did this to make the shoe split. I know they said that's a test to see if it works, but like the shoes were in good shape when I sent them. So for him to send them back all busted up like that, that was crazy. But yeah, man, you got to be careful, with these type of things. That's why it gets a little tricky when you're selling these high end or certain products like Jordans, because the game is getting sneaky. That's why, as much as I love Amazon, I don't sell my hype shoes over there, because you have people pulling the okie dokes even there. They'll get the shoe and saying you sent them the wrong shoe, or some of that nature, or saying the shoe's messed up and they send you back a fake shoe or something else in the box, something else. And Amazon, that's a platform that's always like the customer's right over the seller, so they'll take your refund, and the seller's just messed up for it. So you got to be careful with that type of stuff. One thing about eBay that's good is that they do have that authentication. So there's a layer from who it goes to who it gets to, so that way there can never be no scams on that part. I hope it'd be dope if more platforms did that, but that does cost money for these platforms. But I mean, they should have it to protect their buyers and sellers, right? You just gotta be careful with stuff like that. Valdim, what's good with you, bro? Welcome to the stream. Valdim. Hopefully I said that together correctly. But welcome. I wish I had a translator. LeBron 20 Liverpool is a very dope shoe. If you're asking true to size, you can go to true to size on the LeBron 20. Hard to find the Liverpool because it's kind of a more exclusive colorway. I think there was a slight price and hike in the price, like maybe $210 as opposed to $200. You might have to find them online though, because I don't think they're available in stores really anywhere. I think CP3 can still play, but him and Kawhi are the same level and are not everyday starters anymore. Very true. Very true. That's very true. They're not everyday stars anymore. Kawhi is just a really, really big disappointment, because it's so weird with Kawhi. I didn't like when he came to the Clippers, because they were putting all that, oh, he's the new this, he's better than LeBron, he got LeBron's number. Because of course there's clips of him having LeBron's number. When the Spurs in Miami played in the finals, there's a clip of LeBron at the free throw line, and the horn goes off for a sub, and LeBron looks back to see who's coming to get subbed in. He sees his Kawhi. He goes, shit. Like, he's like, first, like, God damn, I got to deal with this nigga again, So Kawhi's causing problems there. I'm not sure what it was like with him in Cleveland, but I know, and then when it comes to them with their head-to-head matchups, I think Kawhi got the matchup. They're beating LeBron every time in a good way, and doesn't look scared of LeBron, like a lot of players do, which is what you like to see. But it's so many mixed signals with Kawhi, man, because a great player, but he's just so hurt. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of ways you can look at that Kawhi situation. I'm gonna get back to this too, but it's a lot of ways you can look at that Kawhi situation, because these teams do be misdiagnosing and messing players up sometime. I argued the point that he's arguably Brandon Roy 2.0. And in that retrospect, I don't mean that at all any disrespect. It just is what it is. When Brandon Roy was playing, load management didn't really exist. If load management did exist, Brandon Roy would have played longer. And you can't be mad at Kawhi for being smart to prolong his career because he maybe had the same situation that Brandon Roy did. He might be really done, but because he has so much time to let himself get back together and everybody's accepting it because that's what it is, he's able to prolong his career and get big bags and all this stuff, get shoe deals because of the potential and what he can do. So it's like you can't be mad at him for knowing how to work the system if the system's gonna let it work. They might have misdiagnosed him in San Antonio. That's kind of like the underlying tone of what happened. The same thing that happened to Isaiah Thomas, and look at him. He's out the league because of it for the most part. You know what I'm saying? He was going to get a supermax. He was eligible to get a supermax, but no way they was going to give that little dude a supermax. So lo and behold, he just so happens to get injured. And then they tell him that, oh, no, it's not that bad. You can play on it. He comes back and plays on it, has that monster game after his sister died, and then he plays some more games. And it turns out that was like pretty much a career-ending injury that he had to stay out again later for, and it just trickled on. He started trying to fight his way back by that, but by that time, it's 2-3 years later. They done really forgot about you. You're undersized. So many more big, younger, agile, Ja Morant and all these other guys coming into the league, you kind of become irrelevant. So you got to understand it and be on Kawhi's side for taking it into his own hands, similar to what LeBron does and why the players need to thank LeBron, because LeBron's the one who kind of gave these guys player empowerment, or at least encouraged it by what he did ever since the decision. Him setting it up with Bosch and Wade or whatever to make their contracts be a certain way so they could all do that and kind of control their own destiny is a great thing. It's not a bad thing. People as fans and the league has kind of brainwashed people to feel like that's a bad thing to do. But for so long, the NBA has forever just controlled the destiny of these players. And just, how many times have you had a teammate or a player on a team that you really liked, but the NBA team traded them and just they had to chop it up to a business. This is a business. We've heard that so many times when the shoe's on the other foot. But now that the players can control it, people want to be mad at that. So shout out to LeBron for that. And shout out to Kawhi for being innovative and taking the page out of Popovich's book with the load management. And then, his uncle for kind of stepping in there doing this. Isaiah Thomas and Brandon Roy wish they had somebody in their corner doing what Kawhi did. But Kawhi is definitely not an every game starter and just all that stuff. It just sucks that happened. It just sucks that happened because he's a great talent. He's really good. This playoffs, he was looking ridiculously crazy. But then he's hurt out of nowhere on a play that you don't even really see where it really happened. I saw one play, he seemed a little gimpy after that, but he played the rest of the game and still balled and he was good, So it's a weird thing with the guy Kawhi, bro. CP3, same thing. He still has something in a tank in a sense, but they need to have him coming off the bench. Is he? So many players have done it. Westbrook came off the bench this year. He's the most recent player to have a big role, be a star in the league, a former MVP, to come off the bench for another team. And he did it and did his part well. And even did it when he went to the Clippers for most of it, So can Chris Paul do that? Does Chris Paul stay with Phoenix and then let Cameron Payne start and then he come off the bench? Is Chris Paul ready for that? Melo had to do it, which is Chris Paul's friend. Westbrook had to do it, which is a fellow NBA player. Chris Paul gonna have to take that step, maybe, and step back a little bit so he could be there towards the end of the season. It's not during the regular season for him, it's the end of the season. Unfortunate, man. Yeah, Officer Cujo, that's what I was saying earlier in the stream. I believe that's going to be the 2023 finals. Boston, LA, battle of the 18th championship. Both teams have 17. The winner will have 18. Both teams have recently lost legends, which is very unfortunate. It's a lot of history and historic feeling with this vibe. You got Bill Russell, RIP, this is the Bill Russell season. Maybe that's why they'll win. But, man, I hope that's not the case. You got the Bill Russell situation, RIP to Kobe Bryant. Both teams have, the two most major losses in the NBA are these two franchises. A lot of story, history, and just everything with this, bro. It's theater, it's everything. Tatum's the new face or the up and coming face. Jaylen Brown is that number 2. He might be going to Houston next year, but that's what we have to hear about in the offseason. Word on the street is that him and Harden are aiming going to Houston, which will be crazy to see. Who knows if that's actually going to happen? But they're really saying all things is pointing for Harden for sure to go to Houston. He's been talking to the owners after the season regardless. And then Jaylen Brown's not really happy in Boston, so I don't know. But yeah, Boston, LA looks like it's going to be the finals. I feel like the commercials and just everything, just the vibe of it is just leading up to that. I just hope LeBron can come up on top. I don't want to see another loss for LeBron. I would love to have a great summer when it comes to basketball. I'm gonna have a great summer regardless, but it's just nothing better when LeBron's the champion for the summer, because you talk to so many people about basketball throughout the year, and when LeBron's not winning and people know I like LeBron or just in general, they just talk so much shit. So I just don't feel like hearing it. That's what it's a personal thing for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, Boston, LA looks like it might be with the case. Yeah, LeBron Liverpools are 20. Or LeBron Liverpools are 20. LeBron 20 Liverpools are all suede. Very nice shoe. Yeah. CP3, Kawhi, and Clay at the crossroads of their careers. That's very true. The one who has the most upside is Clay, because he's a shooter. And it does suck to witness the decline of players. It's always sucky to see that. You know what I'm saying? I can't really, it's happened a lot, but I can't remember off the top of my head the last player I've seen kind of like decline without them wanting to decline. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys are three great ones. I guess Chris Paul is the most recent, followed by Kawhi. You know, I guess Isaiah Thomas could be one. I just never was really a big fan of IT, but he definitely could get buckets. Definitely could get buckets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's and here we go. I'm not gonna go there, but it's so many things that point to LeBron and his longevity, bro. That's the one thing right there alone why they can't put Kawhi there, because it's like longevity. The boy's not available. Yeah, LeBron's been out. He only played 52 games this season and not 82 games in a minute. But his what he does is a lot different than a lot of other players do. And injuries he have, you know, like this foot thing. They said in order for him to fully heal, he would have to have surgery. If he had surgery, he couldn't play the rest of the season. So now, will this be the first season where LeBron comes back off of a surgery and he doesn't start the first few games of the season? We never really seen that from LeBron. You know how like Shaq used to do in the Lakers? Shaq will be out the whole first month. They have a whole cakewalk schedule. This is when I hated the Lakers. Shaq would come in out of shape or injured, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be crazy for the Lakers because Shaq's not playing." I'm like, "Cool, they're gonna take some L's." No, they're gonna play Portland or whoever sucked. They're gonna play all the sucky teams 2-3 times, back to backs, fly there, fly back, play these guys 4 times. Everything that people are talking about now, the Lakers getting breaks up. I'm glad, because I was hating to see it before. So now Lakers get breaks. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me see some of this little Laker magic that they get, because they were getting a lot of breaks, man. Y'all got a lot of breaks, a lot of shit working for y'all, and even refs coming out talking about how the games were. So that's a fact. Anyway, now we're gonna say when games are all messed up, and if they are messed up and set up for the Lakers to win, I'm all for it now. I'm gonna just ride along with it too. Yeah. Anyway, Grizz on Grind, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream. How you doing this evening, bro? What time is it for you out there on the East Coast? Yeah, East Coast, right? Hey, man, there's a girl on the East Coast who's a rapper. I heard her song for the first time today. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new female DMX. She is fire. I don't know if anybody's heard of her before. Her name is, what is her name? She a female DMX, bro. If you like DMX music, I only heard one song. I don't know what the rest of her album and shit sound like. But the song I heard from her, it's called The Real New York or some shit. What is it called? This is New York. Her name is Scar Lip. We Are New York. That is a New York song. That is a DMX song. Her cadence, that shit is hard, bro. That shit is hard. I'm like, okay, this type of shit we need to hear from New York. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's dope. Female out there giving up the DMX like that. I'm like, is she know him? Is she relative? She just got an infatuation with the dog. I don't know, but the song is fire though, bro. Scar Live, We Are New York. I would play it here, but I'm pretty sure I get a copyright strike on it. But check it out if you haven't heard about it before. You know what I mean? Sliding back to the Discord really quick. I like the Spurs Lakers rivalries when Kobe was. Yeah, Spurs Lakers rivalry was pretty good. It was definitely a good thing because that was some really competitive, skillful basketball. It was competitive and skillful. If you knew ball, you appreciate the skill. Of course, you appreciated Kobe's game, but then Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. Those were skills to what they did. Bruce Bowen on defense. It was good teams. If you want to go back further with Sean Elliott, he was a great player too. The newest basketball shoe on the market that is kind of it's catching my eye because of the colorways, the Cosmic Unity 3. I found the two newest colorways. I've talked about these before in sneakers in basketball sneakers, in sneaker news on my basketball channel, Bossco 2.0. We talked about upcoming sneakers coming out this spring, summer. These were definitely on the bill. We talked about these two specific colors, and they look dope. This orange one is much better in person than I thought it was. It's definitely a better colorway. Like the stitching, I like this shoe. This shoe is not bad. Got a little weight to it, but I imagine when you put it on, you probably won't really notice it like that. The Cosmic Unity 3 is definitely the best out of the Cosmic Unities that's been made so far. The 3 is probably the best silhouette in my opinion. I'm just curious to see what the colorways are going to look like, but all this woven material with the stitching on the upper is fire. I think it's pretty dope. The other colorway, the second colorway, I'm not really a fan of it as much. I'm sure there's people out there who would like it. Me personally, that's not really my cup of tea. But this orange one is definitely on point. I like what they're doing with the Cosmic Unity 3s for sure. Then we got this Ja Morant, the second colorway of the Ja Morant shoe that apparently nobody really wants it. I was mentioning it before in the video. I feel like, obviously, I guess the Ja Morant's first colorway of his first silhouette would have some resale because it's his first shoe, But like this one is sitting everywhere. Apparently nobody likes this one. Like nobody really is rocking with this colorway. I've seen it at all the stores. All the Foot Lockers had them just sitting there. Maybe the bigger sizes sold out. I didn't ask. But that day one colorway, that was a shoe that sold out the same day. So shout out to Ja Morant, being the creator and Nike and all that for making a shoe that people wanted. But was it more about it being Ja's first sneaker, the first colorway of the first shoe? Or was the shoe hype? That's what I'm saying. Everybody, the Ja one's the best. Ja one's the fire. Oh, it's the best thing. Oh, this is the best shoe ever. Nigga, it's about the colorways because this shoe is very, very basic to me. And that's what it looks like. And this is about the colorways. Let's see if the other ones sell out like that. I feel like this shoe looks very, very basic. Maybe if Ja was in the playoffs, let's give it all benefit of doubt. Let's give it all breaks and benefit of doubt. Maybe because Ja's not in the playoffs right now, that's why these are not selling. Maybe it has nothing to do with the colorways. In my personal opinion, it's because the colorways trash. But just let me know what you think. Deshaun Brown, of course. We be grinding, we be chilling, we be chilling. About to do the 420 in a second because it's 420 somewhere. Hey, Grizz on grind. It's not 420 yet, is it? It's what, 348? So it's almost 420 there. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. I thought you said it was. Yeah, this white Ja 1 colorway definitely could have been a grade school colorway for sure. I felt like it looks closer to the grade school exclusive. It looks closer to the grade school exclusive colorway already. It really does. Shout out to everybody watching here from whatever channel you're watching from. I do appreciate that. Hit the like button, of course. Hitting the like button helps out a lot. If you stay for a minute or two, regardless, just hit the like button. That helps out. That'll help more people see that I'm live. And yeah, it just helps out everything. It lets me know people like what's going on, and it'll share it to more people out there. So yeah, this Ja 1 for me just really didn't do it. What's up, Q? Yeah, so the jaw ones, this colorway really didn't do it. Like I said, I feel like it will be about the colorway for this shoe. That red and blue one, the one that's red and blue, that colorway would do a lot better, I'm pretty sure. But maybe not. Like I said, maybe Ja's influence of being in the playoffs, being exciting on the floor, maybe that increased the chances of people selling it, or it's the fact that it was his first silhouette and the first colorway. It remains to be seen. Say less. I couldn't find it. What couldn't you find online? Yeah, the grip pattern definitely, the traction does seem on point with these. I haven't tried them on a court or anything, but I definitely heard the traction for these are pretty good. Shit, I'm tripping. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. But yeah, the traction pattern on these are definitely good. The bite seems like they would be on point. Definitely a shoe that you should wear outdoors. The opposite. You should definitely wear this indoors because there's not like a thick layer. Like the grooves aren't long, so these are definitely meant for indoor hardwood floors. So if you do grab a jaw one in any colorway, definitely recommend it for hardwood floors. You know what I mean? Gyms. If you go outdoors, this stuff will rub off quickly. But yeah, this colorway is cool. Not bad. You know, the blue, the muslin, the pink, whatever, the fade on the swoosh. A lot going on to make this shoe kind of appealing for a first sneaker. This new colorway, I don't know. I mean, maybe they just felt like, they're gonna throw out like 50 colorways. They're gonna try to make sure this thing sells. They're gonna make enough colorways that they do sell. I'm looking forward to seeing them at the outlets. I know that'll do pretty good when it comes to content purposes because everybody, especially if we find this first colorway there. You find the first colorway there, people are gonna lose their mind. But I doubt there'll be full size runs at the outlet of the jaw ones because people just wanted them too much. At least not this first colorway. The second one right here in front of you, that might be different, but not this first one. Rolling up right now, Grizz on Grind. That's what I'm talking about. On a Friday night, you got to do so, man. Relaxation. You know what I mean? Jaws are selling decent though. There was a resale on them. The first colorway had a resale. I'm not sure about the this colorway. Um, yeah, I'm not sure about this colorway, but I do know the day one colorway, the last one sold for 155. So it's down like 15%. However, that's still higher than what it came out for. We're gonna go back and forth. Shout out to everybody here, man. I appreciate you guys chilling out. We streaming on Bossco 2.0, Bobby Thrift, and Bossco Mitchell. If you're watching from any one of the channels, I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button no matter where you're watching from, though. 202 of these sold in the last 3 days, so there still is a little want for these. People are still trying to grab them up. But let's see, they retail for $110, so there's still a profit on these. A small profit, but there's still something there. But down 15%, I guess, from the previous one. Does this come up in one thing? How long is it going to take to load up, though? Because you want to act funny. A lot of these have been in fluctuation, though. I think the highest has been sold so far recently is $202 for a size 12 on May 12th, which was today, right? Or yesterday. So there's still something there for you guys if you're able to grab them. I mean, but I don't think any other. Let's see this one. This is under retail. This one for sure is under retail. So you can even go here and get them on sale. Well, 115. So yeah, I mean shit. Buy it now for 103. What? No data for ask? Oh. What? 20 people have it listed at 104? That's crazy. 27 listed at. Wow. Imagine you bought this thinking, I mean, you could simply return it, I guess, but like imagine buying this thinking you were getting some resale on it. Imagine you thought this color was going to have some resale. I don't know why you would think it would, but if you did, yeah, that's crazy. But it's not. It's not because it's not expected to have a resale. But this one tanked. The first colorway, we good. This is probably the best colorway out of everyone I've seen so far, the scratch colorway, and it's at 450 right now, up 100%. But like this is like this because it's not out yet. We don't even know the official release date of this one. For it to retail, it didn't come out April 1st. Yeah, right, April Fools. Wait, January, February, March. April. Yeah, April Fools, nigga. Oh, okay. I mean, it might have came out like All Star Weekend. I know All Star Weekend they had a sale for them, but they're not officially out yet, so that's why they're this much. I don't think any of the other jaw ones will sell for this much, but that is by far the best one, the scratch colorway. I can't wait to see that one. That's one I definitely will be adding to the collection for me personally. I'm gonna do my due diligence for it. If I don't get a chance to catch up on it, then I won't. But I think I will. I think I will. Hold on, I'm trying to see something real quick. Okay. Yeah, I think I will. Pretty dope shoe. Pretty dope shoe and colorway. And the fact that they've been pushing out those the old Vancouver Grizzly Mitchell and Ness jersey and shorts. It's a perfect match. So I'm going for the shorts over the jersey. Hopefully at some point I can find them. I mean, yeah, the old school Grizzly one. That's the scratch colorway. That's probably the best jaw colorway so far, in my opinion. The color combination, the detailing of it is pretty dope. I'm wondering if I said this before, I wonder if he's going to get any type of collab for his shoe, you know. Backsliding over to the Discord, Energy 810 link is in the description if you want to join it. Cosmic Unities, just a closer look up at them. They got the stitching, they got the different materials on the upper. I like the quality of the shoe. I like how the shoe is made. I'm really curious to see what this thing turns out to be when it comes to other colorways, but this first colorway is on point. If I had to rate it from a 1 to 10, it's an easy 8 for me. Maybe even more if I like look at it some more. But off the rip, it's like an 8. I like the color combination, the design of it. I'm just curious to see if it's as heavy as it seems. Elbow cough. What? Pretty dope shoe though. Cosmic Unity 3. It's really gonna be about the colorways for this shoe. That's for damn sure. For damn sure. The D-Book one, I wish they had it on display so you guys can see. I mean, it has D-Book on the tongue. That's all it says. They're saying his shoe debuts next year. So, I mean, I guess maybe we'll be looking forward to it. I don't know why they just don't drop it during the summertime or something like that. You know, they should drop it during the summertime. But maybe they want to build the anticipation up, I guess. Cosmic Zoom, was it Cosmic? Oh, the Zoom Jump. GT jumps in a couple colorways. Seen all of this at Nike, the Grove. Good selection of basketball sneakers, especially after not going for a while. Kind of like to do that. You get a fresh new thing. You don't know what you're going to come across. This new Jason Tatum. We talked about these in the sneaker news videos before. They have 5 or 6 colorways coming out off the rip. This is the barbershop colorway. They got the St. Louis, the Zoo. I think one represents that St. Louis, the Zoo, barbershop. There's like 2 or 3 other ones that I don't remember what they represent. But the barbershop colorway is pretty sleek. I like some of the colorways he's been wearing. His PEs have been on point. The Tatum is definitely a shoe that has had a little buzz. I do see people out there kind of requesting or looking for the Tatums. I don't see Tatum sitting around like that at too many stores. So that's good to see that there has been a pretty positive feedback when it comes to the Jason Tatum 1. Did I just say Jordan 37? Did I say that? I feel like I did. Maybe I didn't. The Tatum 1 is definitely a pretty good shoe. The retail value for it is good as well. Like, it's not an expensive shoe. It's very light in hand. Maybe at some point I'll try it on. I didn't try it on this day. Maybe I should have. This barbershop colorway is actually not bad either. Out of the 3 colorways so far, I think it might be the barbershop, the Zoo, and then St. Louis as far as the order of which they look most appealing to. The Zoo colorway is dope with the detailing on the back, and then I just like the color combination of this one here. And it's very light in hand, man. I'm telling you, this shoe is a light-ass shoe. Very light shoe. Scroll down, I came across a pair of the 37 Low. Now, this 37 Low, I'm a fan of the Jordan 37 Low, man. I like the shoe. I like the way it looks, the aesthetics of it. I need to try it on to see how it feels. You know, I know, like, for me, if I got it, it would be for casual wear, so I wouldn't have to worry about hooping and busting out in them like Williams did for Boston with the 37s. I'm sure they make these a little bit more durable or something like that. But But yeah, these are not bad. These 37 lows, this color combination is not bad at all. And I remember seeing images of these. It's always dope when you do, sneaker news and stuff like that, and you just see images of shoes before they come out. And it's always good to see them early and then see them when they drop and they live up to what you've seen in the pictures. Because I like this color combination and I seen this in the pictures and I didn't know if it was going to live up to it. But the colors match what I saw. I like the tone of the shoe. Jason Tatum's actually worn these before in the game. Definitely has worn them before in the game. So shout out to the 37 lows. I see what they're doing. They definitely improved from the last silhouette. The 36s were cool. I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I mean to say is it's good to see that the shoe is they're improving and not getting worse with the new generation of Jordans. Because at one point, when Jordan started coming out with them other shoes, it just wasn't like what some people like the 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s. But okay, I like some of those too. But like the 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s, people really didn't care about those, at all. 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s, like people didn't care about those like that. So it's good to see them get to a new athlete or their continuing silhouette and they get a little better, because the 37s and 37 lows are a pick-me-up, I could say, compared to what they've been having in the past. So I'm about to take a shot of this little tequila right here. Oh, I'm gonna show the bottle just a little bit. In celebration of the Friday night situations, I needed some Lobos though, man. Lobos is where it's at when it comes to tequila, not just because it's LeBron's tequila, but it's really good. Anybody who I've gotten to try it themselves, they liked it too. It's easy. It's like water almost. You can't even tell. Like this little burning I feel right now. I don't really feel that when I drink the Lobos. But that's just what I'm saying. It is what. Okay, is my thing tripping? Okay. All right. Because I feel like the chat is like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Okay, we good. Y'all there, right? Yeah, we got people here. All right. So 37 lows. Not a bad shoe. Not sure how you guys feel about the 37 lows. Do you see yourself grabbing a pair of any one of the colorways that's dropping so far? They are pretty interesting. Not too bad. They will be on sale. You can find them at the outlets too. So that's something you don't have to worry about trying to, you don't have, that's a shoe for sure that you don't have to worry about grabbing when it first comes out, because it will pop up at the outlets or be on sale somewhere else. Then we got these Adidas here. I like this suede. I don't know if it would be something I would pick up for myself, but I do like this color combination, that blue velvet on an Adidas slide. That's some plush, chill shit. Like, you know what I mean? It has an elegant look to it. It has a rich look to it to me. It might be cheap as hell to you, but I just like that. I feel like I would wear those selective places and not wear them like regular house shoes. I like that. I like the blue. A personal pickup that I came across, because I'm just going back and forth when it comes to these slides we're talking about. So I found these in the store. These blue ones is dope. But in person, while I was out and about doing my retail arbitrage thing, I came across something that I kept for myself because it was discounted. Plus, I was able to get another 20% discount because it needs to be clean. But I feel like for me, these are better for me for walking. The end of March, I went out to the outlet and wore. Whoa! I went out to the malls. I went out to Citadel and East LA a few weeks ago, and I was feeling myself. So I was like, I'm just gonna go there. I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna be low key. I'm gonna be chill. And I wore my slides. I wore these slides. Shout out to Cool for the Hydro slides. Very, very dope shoe or slide. Very comfortable. But I've had them for a while, so they're starting to like wear down and mold to my feet. So I don't know if the cushioning is still maximized like it used to be. But it still feels comfortable when I first put them on. But after walking around in them for about 8 hours that day, it was totally the wrong idea, and it was all bad for my leg. I have like an old basketball injury that I never really fully took care of, but I could still manage and be fine, if I don't do certain things, like put on a certain amount of weight or walk in conditions, I guess, like this. And with me walking on a flat surface or not enough support, it swelled my knee up, and I was out for like a week and a half. Couldn't do nothing on that knee. It felt like I had to do rehab all over again, like barely lightly walking on it and doing exercises to build it back up. The swelling went down after putting ice on it for a day or two. I was for sure out of commission for about a 5-6 day period where I couldn't do nothing because it was just swollen my right knee. So I like slides. I like to walk around in them a little bit, but after realizing that, I know I can't wear them all day. At least now I can't do that no more. But when I was out, I seen these slides, and I'm still not going to do that because I don't want to take the chance of that happening. But when I do wear slides and maybe make a couple errands, I felt like these would be great just by the look of them. Now they're bright, so you might have to cover your eyes. They're a little bright, but the outsole is what's really got me on these. So I found these Under Armour slides here in this Volt Green colorway, right? Got the Charge, got the Under Armour right there, Brandon right there. But look at the outsole, the tire, the Michelin outsole, bro. I didn't get them for $17 either. But this Michelin outsole and the cushioning on them felt great. And when you walk on them, they feel like, what's that Adidas I tried? The Invincible. It almost felt like walking in those. So I got these. They were like a little dirty. So I had to, people use it. Oh man, these are a little dirty. Can you knock some discount off? So yeah, I had to just clean them a little bit. Very comfortable slide though. This outsole definitely better and more support than what I had recently because they're also new, so they're probably gonna hold up like that. Maybe if I wore them in, I would have the same situation with those two. But those were definitely on point, and I wore them today, and everything was fine with them. They felt great, and hopefully they keep up like that. I won't wear them as often, so I don't wear them down because I used to wear them hydro slides a lot too. And any shoe, like even the regular Nike slides I got, when you wear them enough, they mold to your foot, so the support is different after a while. You know what I mean? Definitely. But I like them. I got them for like it was the 17 listed, but they took 20% off of them. So I got them for less than that. So it worked out for me. I have found those and the two Ultra Boosts that I have already sold. So it was a good thing, Going back to the slides. So those Adidas slides are pretty dope. They were like $35. Then I found a pair of the Air Max 1 slides. They had Air Max 1 slides with the big bubble on the back. I think for like $75 or $84, something like that. It was between that. It was a little pricey for them. Air Max 1 slides. Might find these at the outlet sometime down the road. Who knows? Colorway not too bad. Big bubble. I don't know if they had the big bubble on the ones that came out before. Maybe not. Pennies. You guys know, like the Air Max Penny 1. This black colorway is one that eluded me. Of course, the store didn't have it in my size either. Unfortunately, they didn't have it in my size. Orlando ones in the back, those have been popping up more at other stores. I've been seeing them now in the flex stores, the Nikes, or not the Nikes, the Foot Lockers, the Champs. I've seen the pennies in those stores before. It was only in Shoe Palaces where I was seeing them first. But I've seen them at Foot Locker. I've seen them at a Champs. And I believe seeing them at a JD Sports too. So they're definitely in the stores more. So if you guys are trying to pick up the colorway in the background, you guys can find them if you just look around a little bit. These dunks right here, this Volt Green colorway, personally, they're eye-catching. Oh, what's this? These look pretty dope. And you look at them, they're cool. But then after you look at them, they kind of just, okay, these are cool. Not as bad. The sizzle goes down after having them in hand a little bit. You know what I mean? But this is a shoe that recently came out. Not a bad dunk at all. I think it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? For some people out there, you probably could flip this and rock this the right way. The Volt Green colorway, definitely a summer, spring vibe. And they're not going to miss you at night if you have those on. They can see you from a mile away. Air Max 1s, I like the color combination and the materials. I talked about these before on sneaker releases to look forward to. For casual shoes, these are definitely dope. They look even good in person. Kind of thrown off by the white midsole, but it definitely goes on point with this shoe. So I'm not mad at it. The color combination is definitely on point. And the detailing is fire. The animal prints, the stitching, the exposed stitching, they executed this Air Max 1 properly, I would say. I'm not mad at the way that they did this. Came down to the Zoom generation, the original colorway, LeBron's first one. This colorway is definitely not bad. 175 on the retail for it. You only find these more at boutiques. You might find these at a certain House of Hoops or two, but they've been kind of disappearing too. Certain shoes go. A lot of shoes aren't, but some shoes have a niche audience for them, so they kind of still go. What I mean by go is they sell well, or they disappear shortly after releasing. You know what I mean? Jordan 2s, are these the white cements or are these called cool grays? Or I think they're called white cements, right? I think so. Not a bad shoe. Easily to pass. Definitely will probably see these at the outlets at some point soon, being that outlets are getting more shipments of retros. Some of these retros that are in store are going to the outlets too, like we've seen with the Lucky Greens and the 11 Lows. Some of them go to the outlets rather quickly. They might be listed at retail, but they have additional discounts down the back wall. You know, it just happens like that. And like I said before, somebody's mentioned that, you know, outlets have been getting more shipments of retros. So it remains to be seen what's happening these next few weeks. Maybe even it starts this weekend. I don't know. AJKO Lows. The shadow colorway is probably the best colorway so far. They have a shadow, they have a bread, and they have a deep royal blue, which is right below it. I think the shadow colorway is probably the best one. But this white one, the white and royal, is not bad either when you see them both in person. But for me personally, the shadow colorway kind of is more to my liking, a little bit more easier to keep clean. But the AJKO lows are not bad. I like them way more than the uppers or the highs, right? They're highs and lows, not mids. I like these AJKOs a lot more. Oh, for sure, Grizz. Yeah, man. He's mentioned my last video going by the vintage store. That's the store on Melrose. Been there for a long time, called Sporty LA. If you guys haven't checked out my video, that's the video I dropped today, I believe. Was up and down Melrose, checking out stores, and I went by Sporty LA, which is a store I haven't really been into myself with the channel. I've been in there myself years ago, years and years and years ago, but it was the first time I actually recorded in there because I just didn't know how they would be about it. But I was low key, so it was cool. But they have a lot of dope stuff in there, man. A lot of vintage stuff, a lot of old school stuff, as you saw in there, Grizz. A lot of heat stuff that you ain't seen in years in there. For some prices too. Some pretty good finds in there. You know, if I found something in 13, I'll take it back. I wasn't gonna buy nothing in there, but if I found something in a 13 or two, I might have considered it. I didn't see nothing in 13 that I liked, but some of the things they had in there, like they had the Barkley foam posits. Eric, we were talking about that the last stream. The Barkley foam posits, they had the best colorway there too, but it was like a size 9 or 10. I was like, damn. You're never gonna really find that thing in a big size. That's why I hope they do re-release those. If they need to bring those back for sure, that would be a dope thing to see. Bring back those. But yeah, that vintage store, Sporty LA, has been there for a very long time, man. You know, high school days for me, or even before that, because I remember before high school, people I know was going by there. So Sporty LA been around for a very long time, pretty much in the same location. They might have moved a couple stores down because I remember them being at another. I remember them being a little further down or a little closer up. I don't know. I think they might have. I should have asked that, or maybe they just expanded, and that's why. Maybe they just was one store and they expanded to two of them. So that's why I was confused because I don't. Last time I was in there, it looked a lot different, and it was a long time ago. So you got to expect that. But yeah, Sporty LA is definitely one of those spots that got a lot of hidden gems from back in the day. I remember they used to have like the G Unit shoes, the Rockefeller shoes, like the S. Carters. They had all kinds of like off heat, like a lot of shit in there. And what you saw in their Grizz was a lot of dope stuff too. They had that kind of like falls in line with the stuff they be having all the time there. I'm for sure rocking with them. Definitely a classic store, been in business for a long time. It's good to see sneaker stores being able to do that with this economy and just how so many stores have came and went. They've seen a lot of stores come and go on Melrose. They've been in there for a long time, right across the street from Fairfax High School. They've been involved for a long time there. So it's dope to see a business like that, especially a sneaker business. You know what I mean? I thank you for checking that out, Grizz on Grind. Thank you for your support of watching the videos, and anybody else who watches any of my content, whether it's on Bobby Thrift, Bossco 2.0, or Bossco Mitchell. AJKO Lows, very dope. Sorry about the signal if it's going out right now. It'll come back fairly soon. Can't do nothing about that right this second. But yeah, AJKO lows, definitely some nice looking shoes. Price point not too bad. Resale not even crazy on them either, if I'm not mistaken. Resale's not even too bad on them. I feel like the bread colorway might be a little bit more tricky to get because it is a bread colorway. But to me, like I said, I think the shadow colorway is the best one by far. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody like what they like. But as you can see, just from what we came across so far, we found some heat this week. So these videos that come out on the channel, you guys will see a good amount of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm showing a lot here, but not everybody from the channel is in the live stream. So shout out to you guys for watching. You guys get it first. And even seeing the pictures, you still don't get the whole visual aspect of it. You know what I mean? The Bossco Mitchell touch, if there is one. So then also came across these, man, which were only in smaller sizes. The KD3 All-Star. You know, one thing about going to a lot of stores, it's good to see what's where and what's not. This is one, I only seen this at one location. Out of all the locations I've been to over the last few days or whatever, one place had the KD4 All-Stars, but they had like smaller sizes left. I didn't ask what smaller sizes left, but there was somebody there. When I was there, they asked for a size 11, and they had that. They said we only have smaller sizes left. That was the guy's reply to the customer. So I didn't even have to ask. So smaller sizes available, but they did have the KD3 All-Stars. You know, this was a shoe that was a hit when it first came out, and this is also one of those shoes that still had a little resale, and the bigger size we're gonna go quickly because of the nostalgia of the shoe and just all of that type of stuff. Hadn't found this at too many locations besides one. But the KD3 All-Star, not a bad looking shoe. You know, I see what you try to do, KD. I see what KD try to do. And as I mentioned before, plenty of times, Panda's just sitting everywhere. You just, wherever you go, most places you go to, a Shoe Palace, a Foot Locker, a JD Sports, they just got them chilling on the shelves like a regular shoe. Regular shoe. I didn't know we would get to that point so soon. There still is a resale if you're somebody who's selling hand to hand. Average sale if you're selling somebody hand to hand is like 150 to 160. Men's sizes are doing a little better, which is still a profit because what they retail for 110, maybe 120. So there's still something, but they used to be 100 on top, 120 on top, 90 on top. Those days are dead and gone. But they you know, had the fire or cops going by, so I just had to mute the mic real quick. But yeah, something kind of interesting with that, you know, like they used to be people was on that stuff. Not so much anymore. Not so much anymore, you know. Now they're able to sit. I seen an 11 and a half men sitting in the window, one place at a Foot Locker. It just you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't really see that before, you know. Now you can. Now you can. I hit people up in the Discord or Instagram and let them know panda. It's crickets. Like, what? Nobody wants a panda? That's cool. Yeah, you would grab the KDs if they were a different color. You talking about the KD3s or the KD15? Are we talking about the KD3s? I think that's all I showed was KD3s, right? Because the KD16s is looking pretty nice out here. KD16s, they showing one colorway. That thing's looking pretty nice. Harden Volume 7s, Azula, you're not wrong about that, man. The Harden Volume 7s is definitely a better silhouette than the 5s and the 6s. I'm curious to see how comfortable it is because with the Hardens, they make sure to pay attention to Achilles and ankle support because Harden had an Achilles situation. So there's like extra cushioning little pads inside the insole or inside the shoe for that support. So I can only imagine the way the 7 looks, how it comes up higher on the ankle. They probably got some of that in there too. But no, the 7s are not bad, man. 7s are definitely impressive. He been coming out with some crazy colorways and wearing some dope colorways too. At some point on the channel, you'll see me with some of those too. Adidas gang over here. I mean, not really. I like Nike too. I'm with everybody, but you know, I'll leave that alone. But Adidas got a lot of nice stuff, man. Look forward to some of that stuff happening soon. Uh, got a bunch of Adidas sneakers, Harden Volume 5s, Donda shoes, which are not my favorite. Dames. Like Adidas they do got some stuff. And from what they're looking at with their next generation of sneakers is getting better because the Donda shoe 5 is the best Donda shoe 5 yet. All the other ones kind of are trash compared to the 5. I like the 5. The Trae Young 2 is cool, but the Trae Young Unlimited is definitely on point. What else is there? Don issue 5, Trae Young 2, the Dame 9. I don't know if I haven't seen the Dame 9, but the Dame 8 was a better silhouette. I wasn't mad at the Dame 8. I feel like there's another Adidas guy I'm thinking about that's like that's a new guy. Can't remember. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just Trey, Dame, and Donovan. Maybe it's those three. And Trey's newest shoe, the 2 and the Unlimited, is nice. And Donna Issues 5 is the best one. His other stuff, I don't know what they was doing with those things, but whatever. He dropped 71 points in Donna Issue 4, so they must be good for something. Yeah, the red ones are dope. Harden 7s, the red ones, the scarlet red, fire. Fire colorway. I feel like they're more lifestyle than balling too, even though they are hooping shoes. I feel like a lot of hooping shoes are like that. You know what I'm saying? But Harden shoes for sure. They look like a casual shoe, they look like, a casual shoe, one of the new casual shoes with a new look, how they're trying to go with their futuristic style. But it is a hooping shoe. You know what I mean? Pretty dope. And the Jerry Lorenzo basketball shoe. Seeing the new images of those, the detailed images of those are not bad. Not a bad shoe. Much better than a Yeezy basketball shoe. Speaking of Yeezy basketball shoe, Yeezy coming back out. They're dropping more. They're going to start dropping them again. We knew that was only a matter of time. There's so much to be said about that story that leads you into a deeper, darker criminal link, as Murder Inc. is. If you know what Murder Inc. is, the rap group. It shows that the brands need the people more than the people need the brands. Because even though, he did what he did, and they was done with him, they realized how much they was gonna lose. Because at the end of the day, it's about the money. So they're reconsidering it. Interesting. That's crazy. To do something so heinous and so crazy, to still come right back to be like, we're gonna still sell them. That says a lot, man. That says a lot more than I feel like getting into. But that's crazy. All that stuff. Now, here's the thing. Are people going to buy it? Are people going to buy it? Are people going to cop it? Is there going to be a resale on it? Is it going to be tanked? Like, what's going to be the aftermath once they drop it? They feel like they're going to lose so much money, so they dropping them to not lose so much money. But will people be buying them? I believe so. I think ain't a 350 gonna be sitting in the stove. I think so. Ain't a 350 gonna be sitting in the stove. What? Especially it's gonna have the Kanye stamp with it now, right? I mean, I would assume that, are they going back to that, or are they going back to no Yeezy on it? With all the things that you said, only thing that said Yeezy was the Yeezy on the insole, and some of them said the supply, but that wasn't the Yeezy, right? Right? These don't say Yeezy. That says supply 350. So there's nothing different besides the insole. So are they gonna make the different detail with the insole or not? Is it gonna have Yeezy on the insole or not? That's the only difference. And will people buy them? That's the thing, because Adidas canceled him and said he was a bad guy and nobody should mess with him. So they stopped selling them. So are people following suit with that and gonna be still mad and not buy the shoe? Is there? I mean, yeah. I was gonna ask. I'm just asking. Is there a difference between Tom Sachs and Kanye West? Their situations as far as how egregious they were. I mean, one, I would think, I don't know. Yes or no. Yes or no? That's y'all answer. That's you. I was asking you guys. Tom Sachs and Yeezys, were their stuff on the same level as far as violations and making people feel bad or uncomfortable? Or was one more than the other? I just want to know what the people think about that. Whether you want to leave it now or in the the comment section, after the live stream is over. I'm curious, but you don't have to speak on it now if you don't want to. Was Tom Sachs worse than Kanye West? Maybe I should put a poll on that. But I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Pirate Black. Few slides. Foam runners are already made. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's gonna be back to business as usual. Kind of pretty much back to business as usual. You know what I'm saying? Kind of back to business as usual. So yeah, Panda's sitting in the store everywhere. Resale shops still do have them priced a little higher, which is crazy because you can kind of just go look around in some of your stores and find them yourself. But I guess when you get to a resale shop and you're there, you don't want to think about, oh, I just go somewhere else. People you want to buy when they're at a spot. You know what I mean? So not a bad situation, but it is good to see that Pandas are around for anybody who really wants to get them. Maybe they'll be around like Air Force Ones, like a all white Air Force One. You have a Panda Dunk. Those will kind of be two of the most common shoes, which is cool if that's what it becomes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at all when I see him sitting, and I'm not dissing because there's a one that's one thing I think there's a thin line between it, right? Where you like when you see something tanking because there's such a little beef between resellers and consumers, and I'm both, so it's kind of crazy. But there's such a little undertone gripe. The consumers hate the resellers because they buy up the stuff and mark up the price, and the resellers hate the consumers for complaining because they just found another way to make money for them and make their job, do their work. I understand there has to be like morals and stuff like that and business ethics. I would assume like not charging too high and making sure shoes are authentic. Taking all that out, reselling is not a bad thing. It's just a part of the game and it's never going anywhere. But when you have people like, yeah, the pandas are sitting, so now people can make resale high off, fuck all them resellers. Like that sucks, bro. That's some hating ass bullshit, bro. You never sold anything in your life. If you're in a sneaker game and a sneaker culture and you own sneakers and you collect sneakers, you probably sold a sneaker or two, and regardless if it was for profit or not, you still resold it. So like I think that's so bad. I can't stand that. That's a little irritating how that little war is there. Like I said, they have some collectors have this little snobby little yeah, oh, that's a reseller guy. Like it's annoying as shit, bro. It's annoying. Just like reselling is annoying, those annoying collectors are annoying as hell too. And I run into them I do. No disrespect to nobody. It's cool. You be on what side of the fence you are. But just know if you run into me and you come to me clowning resellers, I'm not really like rocking and like, yeah, man, fuck these resellers. I'm like, man, that's how you feel? Okay, cool. That's how you feel. I'm not on your side saying like, yeah, fuck the resellers. Because I do that, and I know a lot of people who do that, and they're cool as fuck people. So, yeah, I just think that's so funny how people clown that. Now, when you clown the resellers who are assholes or the resale shops trying to charge 300 or 250 for these Panda Dunks when you can find them at the stores, okay, that's cool. That fuck them for being for being mean or for them trying to be bogart the system or the game and trick people who don't know better and take advantage of new people and overtaxing them. Yeah, those people need to be gone, but there's bad apples in every genre of everything. So that's how I feel about that. That's that on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to see that the dunks are sitting because more people are able to get them who want them for themselves. They don't have to pay an arm and a leg for them, you know. And for resellers, it's like what reselling is one of them games that you have to always be adapting. You can never get comfortable and stay in the same thing and think this is always going to be the same way. Like I was saying earlier about even myself getting shoes or getting things that I know they retail for this, so I'm trying to post it for close to the retail as possible. I don't care. I want to get just as much as it's supposed to be for. But no, you have to realize that sometimes you need to drop them a little bit. You have to adjust to the market, and it's about moving the volume as opposed to having things sit around. So when you have a situation like this, if pandas are tanking, then you got to go for certain sizes only, or you go different avenues to try to get them off, or you don't grab them, or you grab them and hold them if you have the clientele or the capital or the time and patience. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that game is so crazy. I think that's one of the bridges in the sneaker culture that should somehow be bridged or made up. But I feel like it's a straw type bridge. It's a light bridge that you can't really connect it. And people ain't crossing back and forth as much. Not too many people on both sides of it. You're either on one side or the other. You know what I mean? So I think that is funny, man. Who knows how that will ever change or evolve, but it don't matter. At the end of the day, you do what you do to make you happy. Just be morally cool with it. Don't be killing people out here when it comes to the reselling. Don't do it too crazy. And then also the other part of it, when you got people taxing too high for stuff, and you got the consumers mad at people charging too much. As a reseller, you don't want people over here also tanking the prices too. You don't want people jumping on the listings and lowering the price so they can sell them fast. Exercise patience, exercise some patience. You know what I mean? So everybody can kind of be cool. That's one thing that sucks. Like people would say, for like a consumer would say, a reseller sucks. Is a reseller would say a low uh is it not low baller, but whatever it is, the ones who undercut the prices to try to sell them and drag down the prices. That's not a smart move either, bro. There's a lot of things to talk about and complain about on both sides of the fence. Just go about what rocks for you and keep mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business, bro. I know we're in such a society now where it's about knowing what everybody's doing and how they do it and how much they do when they do it. I never been on that. I never could be on that. I never worried about the next person, what they're doing. I just kind of stay in my own lane. Maybe that's a bad thing. I know there's so many things now out here. They're encouraging to look to the left and look to the right and see what this person's doing and do this and do that. I did that in basketball. I said that before. You watch other people's games. We watch NBA players to see what they do in their game, and you take from that to add to your game. So there is a sense of taking and adding to your stuff, but copycatting is not the same. And not the same. You know what I mean? Not being original, you know. But it's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm not even gonna try to mess that up. What's going on, bro? How you doing today? Aldita? Aldita. Jordan for Thunder's rising now. Thank you. When I looked earlier, it was down. Then it went up to like 316. Let me check and see what it's now at, because it's a live situation. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna check it out right now. See, I thank you for saying that, because they were tanking. Let's see how much of a price difference it is since the last time we checked. Last time that I checked, I was the man on these streets. Okay, still 314. I think the last time we checked it was at 313, 314. But yeah, still higher than the retail. But after they drop tomorrow, I feel like they will go back down a little bit. Just remains to be seen how much further they go back down. This shoe right here was something I felt was a sleeper. The Jordan 2 Cool Gray, the women's Jordan 2 Cool Gray. I like the colorway. The materials on it is not bad. After going to a few stores, I only saw this at one store. So I don't know how, I don't want to say limited, but I don't know how many of these were made or how many people didn't. Maybe people got are getting their shipments late. I found this at a shoe palace, and I've been to a few shoe palaces. I've been to a few Foot Lockers, and I've been to a few stores and sneaker boutiques too, and only found them at one store. So I don't know. I don't know if people got late shipments. If this shoe sold out, I don't think that's sold out. I know actually the bigger sizes did sell out. At least online they did. But online don't always mean the real in stock stuff. But the bigger sizes that men could fit, those sizes were gone. On Nike.com, the smaller sizes are still around for this shoe. Um, but yeah, the bigger sizes for sure are gone. I like this shoe colorway. Women's exclusive, like I said. It didn't come in extended sizes, so if you couldn't fit the 10.5 men's, you kind of couldn't get the shoe. But the colorway is on point. The dark gray or the smoke gray with the blue trim and the white, fire color combination, man. Might be freezing a little bit. I can't get too carried away. I'm trying to open up this, open up that, open up this, open up that. When I looked last online and I checked for these Jordan 2s on Nike.com, size, I'm going to go back to it right now so I can just be accurate with what I'm saying. Oh, it's still there. As soon as I opened it up, it was right there because that's the last thing I was looking at. Yeah, so size, women's size 10 and up is all out, but 8 or 9.5 and down is still available. So yeah, bigger sizes, unless they didn't make those bigger sizes, and that's why they're marked out. But I'm pretty sure they were available. Pretty sure they're available. But yeah, this Jordan 2 is one of the better ones that have released recently of the recent Jordan 2s, the women's colorway, the UNC to Chicago low, or the Muslin colorway, or even the cool, or even the white and gray one that dropped that I showed earlier. This 2 is better than all of those, in my opinion. You know, new colorway of the trainer in this orange and black colorway, orange, black, and white, not bad. I hope they come out with more colorways of this trainer low. Damn, because like I think it's right here. I'll pull it. Yeah, not quite the same. Yeah, it is. Wait, I think it's a different model. This is at the bottom of my closet, but like I was moving some stuff around, so stuff at the bottom kind of comes to the top. Not that one. Black. This is an old one right here. This is from 2011. Super old one. They need to come out with this colorway. They need to come out with like something with some royal blue, a red one maybe, or maybe a navy blue and red one. They have some color combinations on this trainer that's dope. This black one's crazy. All new book upper, dope classic one right here for sure. So hopefully they bringing them back. They're bringing these back. Hopefully we get some more flavors, man. Because these trainers is definitely classic. I see what they're doing. They're starting to circle back. They're bringing back some more of them 90s shoes. Bring back the LWPs. Bring back some of them other Air Maxes I talked about before. The David Robinson and Chris Webber shoes. Bring some of them back. I'm here for it. If y'all start dropping that in 2023, I'm going to have a problem. 5 shoes will not be the case. You know what I'm saying? LeBron 20, grade school exclusive colorway. This is definitely one that if it came out in men's sizes, I'm sure a lot of people would have grabbed it. I don't know why it's only grade school sizing, but it is dope at the same time. Laker colorway all day. You'll probably see him wear them, even though they're grade school sizing. You know how he do. Then we got the up tempo, kind of same colorway almost as this trainer. I don't know if that's a pack, and they're gonna have some other shoes come out like an Air Max 97 or Air Max 1 with the same color combination. Men's and grade school sizing for this up tempo. This is not a women's colorway. Reminds me of a few teams out there. Not mad at these, but like I said, man, it was a pretty good week of finding sneakers in the store. New colorway on the Ultra Boost, D Rose, Rustamo. I never seen this colorway before. Men's size on sale for $149. I never seen this colorway before. That thing was pretty crazy. All these are gonna be shown in my videos coming out in the next 2 days or 3 days, so just stay tuned for that. But yeah, never seen that D Rose colorway. One of the most unique colorways of that shoe model. Then of course we got the Zoom generation in that gray suede. I was actually out and about the day the shoe dropped. Pretty dope shoe. The suede on it is really good quality. Don't see myself picking them up. They retail for $190. They are cool though. I just don't, I don't need them in my collection. But like this one, like the first colorway and the other colorway are on point. The Zoom generation is not a bad LeBron shoe. I just think it's the timing with so many other shoes coming out right now. You just don't need to be grabbing them. And plus, also a lot of things going on sale. You don't need to grab them when they first drop. Unless you wear size 13 or 12.5 or 11.5. You might have to consider even on a shoe like this, because there is a slight resale, and then there also are athletes who want to get these shoes and they wear 13s. So it's like you got buyers, you got consumers, and resellers for the 13s and 12s and halves and 12s and stuff like that. But maybe at some point, I feel like this is a shoe that I could find a size 13 floating around later on. Maybe not. The resale for this one's not too crazy. And like I said, there's so many other shoes right now with more profit. $190 for this shoe, it don't make sense to grab it and try try to sell it unless you already have a buyer for it or it's a money size. You know what I'm saying? It really don't make no sense because these things ain't moving like crazy. You know, most LeBrons be chilling out unless it's something really exclusive. Shout out to everybody watching, whether you're watching from whatever channel, Bossco Mitchell, uh, Bossco 2.0, Bobby Thrift. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. That helps out a lot. I appreciate everybody who did hit the like button. We're not done. I'm just saying, showing my appreciation. We got now. I seen this because it was advertised somewhere. I forgot how I saw it advertised in a different color. I think it drops in another colorway in a day or two, maybe next week. But I saw this red one because I haven't seen this anywhere yet. This red colorway is definitely on point for this Puma. I should have put the name right there. Don't remember the name of it right now. I say it in the video for sure though. Color combination not bad. Puma has been improving. You know, some of the look of their shoes. They're trying to step into the game. Mellow kind of sparked them back into the game, and then now they're kind of like spreading that love onto some other silhouettes. I think that's good to see Puma kind of, sliding back in there. I see Reebok trying to slide back in there too, bringing back the classic Reeboks and spinning them different ways. I don't think that really works. Even though I did see somebody walking around in those Iverson pumps. I seen somebody walking around in the red and in the black colorway. More power to you. Where would you like? Now this right here is definitely one of the better colorways of the KD15, if not the best, because it's a combination of all of them. You know, if you look closely at them, you can see the detailing of different shoes from like the Boy Wonder, the bad colorway, the Pearl. You can see all of them. You can see all. I like how they do that. I like when they execute the what the like that. You can see different parts of the shoe. You know what I mean? Different parts where it comes from. These KD15 with us definitely are fire shoe. Will it go on sale? Will it stick around like that? What the shoes usually don't because they're what the shoes. I know some people who collect a bunch of what the shoes. You know, that's part of their thing for their collection, which is dope. Maybe we'll get them on a channel at some point. But the what the collection or the what the KD15 is definitely dope. I feel like this caps off the KD15s, but then I hear there's a couple more colorways coming. Usually, if I'm not mistaken, the what is kind of like the last colorway. You know what I'm saying? But maybe the dates are mixed up. Maybe those other ones came out already. I just haven't seen them. And the what the I just got it early. I don't know. But the what the KD15 looks good in person. I wish they had both shoes out so I could see them side by side. But at some point, I probably will grab a pair. This was the shoe that I felt like I would add to my collection because I do want one KD15 for my collection, and I feel like maybe the what the is it or the Brooklyn graffiti colorway or the bad colorway if I'm able to see that because it hasn't officially dropped in stores. I don't think I haven't seen the bad colorway nowhere. No way. We got new Zoom Freak 4. It's not too crazy, but it is colorful. Got these Jordan 37 lows also. I'm telling you, the 37 lows definitely have some heat in there. Jordan 3 sitting. Air Force Ones like looking like Bases with the all patent leather upper. I think I posted these dunks before. Hello Kitty Adidas. These dunks here have 3M on them on a Nike swoosh. Not really feeling the colorway, but maybe some of you guys might who are dunk fans out there. Air Max 90 colorway is definitely on point. You got some extra materials on there too. I like the vibes of the Air Max 95. They got a million and one colorways of the Air Max 95. Definitely a dope shoe. Definitely something good to add to your collection as a staple sneaker in the game. The Air Max 95 for sure. And like I said, they got a million and one colorways, so they definitely will have a colorway of the Air Max 95 you would like. And then this dunk right here, I don't know the name of this dunk right here, but I think this one is definitely on point with the cream, the navy blue, black, and white. I like how they executed this. It has some suede and then some other type of material. I don't know, maybe it's all suede. The material feels different from this section to the panels, the overlays. You know what I mean? The base of the shoe has a different material than the overlays do. Colorway is dope. Don't know about no resale value or nothing. Just the colorway alone itself is on point. And then we need to know y'all thoughts on these. What do you guys think about these, bro? I'm gonna just let that sit there for a second. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button And whoever hit the dislike button, it doesn't matter. But yeah, crazy. I don't know what made them think that this was a good idea. The Air Force One slide. I don't know about that one. I couldn't do it. I don't care what colorway it comes in, black, white, red, blue. I don't care what colorway it comes in. I couldn't do this. I could not do an Air Force One slide. I think these look kind of crazy. I saw these in the women's section though. So maybe there's some females out there who might like these. I don't know. Maybe we need to see them in person. All the material is the sole. It's like barely anything on the upper. I posted these because this is just something wild. Air Force One slide, bro. They are fusion and matching anything together. They trying it. Air Force One slide? Air Force One slide? That don't make no sense, bro. Azula, I feel you. It don't make no sense. I don't know what they're doing. I don't like them either. Like I said, I had to show them just to see what the people thought about them because they are crazy. Crazy. I know they're gonna come out with more colorways. This is not it. This is not it. There's gonna be a black colorway. I want to know when they're gonna start mismatching, having a white outsole with an upper that's different. Well, this is like that because it's not all white. This is like a tan with the white. So they're gonna have an all white one, I'm sure, if they don't already have it. Another cut. Was it the same picture from the first Panda? Let me see. Damn, all the way back. Yeah, okay. So that's okay. My bad. Same picture. Two Pandas pictures, same. So my bad, Discord. That wasn't two different spots. I'm sure y'all probably noticed that though. But they were around. They were around. They were definitely doing that. They were definitely available. That's right here. John Greens. Although the Lucky Greens are starting to make their way out the stores, but they are at the outlets. So, you know, maybe they're making their way out the stores because they're being sent to the outlets. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is, you know. Let's see. So I think I talked about that. Boost, seen this shoe here. It's some slide by some brand I never heard of called Malibu. I'm curious. I put this here to talk about it just for this brief second. Maybe somebody here in the stream or later can let me know about this brand Malibu. The slide retail for $90. This right here is $90, but it's on sale for $9.99. I left them because I didn't see nowhere where I could sell them that I would want to sell them. But $9.99, normally $90. That's wild. That's kind of wild. I'll tell you everything else I showed you guys. Fly Trap 6s at the Ross. These were the jerseys I talked about. I don't even need to make that big. These are the jerseys floating around right now at Ross for $25. Retails $135 on them. To my understanding, he's no longer on that team, but there still is some money to be made on them. I don't know if it's because he's a really good player or if people just like the Mets jersey. But if you look him up on eBay, there's some profit there. They're starting to get footed though. I did notice from the first day I checked it out when I found these in the store to the day I checked it now, a lot more listings for them. So I'm glad I was able to get rid of them in person and stuff like that, like people I know, because they, you know, probably would have been one of those things where I'm trying to sell it for closer to that 135 and then realize I can't, but I won't realize it until probably the end of the season. But then maybe again, maybe not, because I've been researching things a little bit more. Plus, people in the chat or people in the comment section of the video let me know that the guy don't play for the team no more. I don't follow baseball like that pretty much at all, so I don't be knowing, you know, if the guy's still on the same team. So yeah, shout out to you guys in the comment section of that video on the Bobby Thrift channel who let me know that the guy's not playing for the team no more. I appreciate that. Then I think last time I showed you guys, we came across Kyrie Infinities, Kyrie Low 5s, and those T-Mac 8 balls at Ross. People have been asking me. Shout out to anybody who, because there have been people in the comment section asking me. I did reply to them. But on Bobby Thrift, if you guys are looking for retail pickups, you got to join my membership. You got to pay a monthly fee for me to do that for you. Or either I'll just add a fee onto it per transaction, but it's not going to be the same fee as the monthly fee. Just let you know. But if you're somebody out there who wants me to grab something for you while I'm out at the stores, you got to join one of my memberships. And the best way to stay in the loop for the most like feedback and live action as far as like being outside at the stores is joining my Discord, because that's where I post things pretty much first. Pretty much first. Trying to see if there was something else I had here that I wanted to go over with you guys on my Discord. If I do, it'll probably come to me in a second. You know, shoot, pals, I'm not really a sneakerhead. Okay. Oh wow. Papa Frisco. Common knowledge about dunks or Jordan 1s. If you guys have some information to share with him, put it in the chat. Common knowledge about Jordan 1s. What's some common knowledge? I'm trying to figure out what would be something to tell somebody. Most Jordan 1s are true to size. From my experience, Jordan 1s have been true to size. You're safe to go to true to your size. You don't necessarily have to upsize on your Jordans unless you have some, and maybe the materials might depend on that. Dunks. Oh. The common knowledge that I would say is not what you want to tell customers. Like, dunks usually have cheap leather. That's how you can tell, dunks, how you can tell the importance of a dunk or the meaning or the care of a dunk by the materials. You can't tell customers that, because dunks have cheap materials, just like the Jordan 1 mids. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some good positive common knowledge. Besides true to size, they can go with almost, you can wear them for all kinds of occasions, casual, sporting events. Some good common knowledge. That's a good question. I don't know. That's what I can tell you. I'm sure maybe somebody else could probably give you more common knowledge on it. But they're pretty much all-purpose shoes, like as far as like casual wear or for, I mean, you can hoop in them. I do see people hooping in Jordan 1s, even though they're not the best shoes to hoop in, and they are technically basketball sneakers. But I appreciate that energy. If I think of some more common knowledge, I'll say something. And I'm sure if somebody sees something, they'll say something. There's probably some people here who probably have some common knowledge to give you, but they're not going to do it. I don't know. But at some point, if I figure something out that's common, I'll tell you. But good luck on your job interview. Common knowledge about working at a store like that, of course, be cool, learn from people in the store, build relationships. Relationships is important. I don't know if you're just getting the job just to get the job, if you're getting the job to get more into sneakers for yourself personally, because working at stores, you do get discounts. You might be able to get shoes for a little cheaper than everybody else does. I don't know if you're, I don't know what your intent is with getting the job, because now, and you have to kind of ask that nowadays, because there's so many different reasons to work at a shoe store. Whether you're a collector, you want to add more to your collection. Whether you're a reseller, you want to get better prices for your reselling. You want to do some cook group shit. Like, there's so many different reasons why people want to work at retail stores now, or you might just want it for an extra job. Either way, it is a cool environment, because you'll meet a lot of new people, all kinds of walks of life. Yeah, good luck to you on the Shoe Palace job. Definitely keep your head on a swivel. I hear they're trying to clean up Shoe Palace, so you might want to be iffy on doing anything shady, for sure, like backdooring and things of that nature. Don't do that when you first jump in the game. Get some time under your belt, and make that's the thing you want to do. Make connection with as many employees as possible. You never know who's going to be what down the line, because that's one thing about Shoe Palace that I've noticed. It's a revolving door, and people go up and down all the time. You never know. I'm sure. Yeah. Good luck on that, for sure. You know what I mean? And common knowledge about dunks, or I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's like something common besides true to size. That's probably bad advice, but I think that's cool. They're not reselling like that, but that's not something you tell a customer. Yeah. other than that, man, like this week was pretty cool. Found a lot of good shoes, a lot of good sneakers. This weekend's gonna be on fire when it comes. Well, it's gonna be a pretty good weekend when it comes to releases. There's some things out there that you people are going after, especially when it comes to like those fours. A lot of people are looking for those. You know, good luck to anybody who's going after them. If you didn't go out, if you didn't try for them already, like in one of those apps, if you're trying to go out tomorrow or Sunday and get them, hopefully you're able to grab what you want. You know, and I do appreciate everybody coming through. We're getting it together a little bit more. Now we stream yarding on all 3 channels. We're gonna try and do that a little bit more too. Each time I go live, I'll probably be live on each channel. Bosco Mitchell, Bosco 2.0, and Bobby Thrift. We're gonna go over all 3 categories on my channel, on my streams, from the collecting part to the reselling part, and then the news part. That's what I do on all 3 channels. So it'll be part of my podcast or my live streams that I do. Trying to set on how I want to do them as far as the scheduling, because I thought I could do them every day, but I slowly realized that's not the case. So 1 or 2 a week might be the case, you know, have them build up to have even more to talk about. Like I said, we going up. I appreciate that, Papa Frisco. I appreciate that. Thank you for this. Thank you for the sub. Hopefully you find some of the content on my channel helpful or enjoyable. Videos kind of longer on the channel. You know what I mean? So you got some time to chill out, check out some sneakers. I feel free. Make sure when you watch, hit the like button. That goes for anybody watching. You know what I mean? We've been rocking for 254, bro. Any crazy stories that I talked about that you guys or didn't talk about that somebody wants to mention real quick? Cameron kicking Spike Lee out of New York. I think that's some funny stuff right there. Grizz on Grind. Don't know if you're still here because I know you on the East Coast. It's much later. But did you see that? Anybody see that? That was hilarious. Cameron saying we don't need you no more as a Knicks fan. You too much. You bring bad luck to the team, and you too friendly with the stars of the other team. We don't need that no more. They could never say that to Jack Nicholson. Or Denzel, who sits courtside all the time. They could just never say that to nobody out here. Spike Lee, I mean, they got to the second round. They ain't been there in how long, bro? Like, what you guys expect? You guys thought they were going to go to the finals or even the Eastern Conference Finals with Julius Randle as the number 1 guy? I don't think so. Jalen Brunson at number 2? No, bro. I'm sorry. RJ Barrett? No, I'm sorry. They're a good regular season team. In my opinion, they're a good regular season team. And they got who they beat in the first round. I don't even remember who they beat first round. I feel like they beat somebody who might have been handicapped. But who knows? That's definitely gonna be see what they do for their team. If Julius Randle gonna stay there, I know he had a big contract, but I don't know if he has a year left or if I don't think he's a free agent. It is good to see New York in the playoffs. And for me personally, I like to see New York where they ended at. I think New York still being around for a second round is cool. It keeps the hoopla up a little bit. East Coast feel good. New York, got something going on for their team. Oh, they beat Brooklyn. No, they didn't beat Brooklyn first round. No, they didn't beat Brooklyn first round. But yeah, it's good. It was good to see New York in the playoffs. It's good to see that they went to the second round. I think that was a good thing for the league and entertainment purposes. Like I said, it's nothing like hearing that defensive chant in the playoffs in the Garden with the organs playing and everything. That's some classic shit right there. But I think that's where the fun stops, the second round, unless they make some big moves and get some other people there. But nah, man, they definitely didn't need to go no further. But shout out to the Knicks though. Respectfully, shout out to the Knicks. They're definitely a good team. Like some pretty cool players. I guess they got some cool talent. I just don't think they got any stars or nothing like, for what people was acting like they were expecting the team to do. They didn't have that. They got a cool regular season team. They like the Clippers of the East, but of course they went further in the playoffs. Yeah, man. Yeah, Rui, Lakers. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Lakers have a plan to extend Rui and Vanderbilt. That's what I did hear. Walker, Reeves. Reeves is going for, he wants the money. So it's going to be about the bidding war for Reeves. It's going to be about a bidding war for Reeves. He's a free agent. People, he wants the bag, and people are going to be, there's going to be teams out there to offer it. Excuse me. It might be a Caruso situation all over again, and you can't be mad at it. Reeves might have a longer career than Caruso. I see a little more upside in Reeves than Caruso, even though Caruso's a baller. So I think Reeves will he'll probably take more money somewhere else. I'm like, if you win a ring though, dog, you gonna leave. You gonna leave Bron and AD if y'all win a ring. Your role only gonna get stronger for the Lakers if you stay. So you're gonna have a stronger role for the Lakers with more money. It's not gonna be what you probably like. If you can probably get 25 somewhere else, I could be completely wrong. He might like the money could be more, but if you could get 25 from somewhere else, but get 14 from the Lakers and you won a ring, I would stay with the Lakers in LA. You don't think you'll get some brand deals, some endorsements, or something like that? Hopefully they can make it to where he stays. And then Lonnie Walker, they playing with him. They playing with him, and it's like, I'm in the rotation. I fall completely out the rotation. Then low-key save y'all ass once y'all put me back in the rotation. He gonna have a chip on his shoulder too. And one thing that's good about sports and with agents, you don't have to say he doesn't have to go to Rob Pelinka and say, you did me wrong, boom, 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 boom. His agent can do all that for him. And then they're not gonna use that terminology, you did me wrong, but they're gonna make you pay by the dollar. And it's a business. Like the league says to the players when they get traded, the players realize too, it's a business. So yeah, Lonnie Walker, I mean, unless they make some commitments to him, he could possibly leave too. I think out of the people that you mentioned, the 4 players you mentioned, you mentioned 3, but I mentioned 4. Out of the 4 I mentioned, I think Rui and Vanderbilt will be on the team next year. I'm kind of for certain about that. Austin and Walker, I'm not certain. I'm leaning more towards Reeves being back than Walker, because they just feel like he's expendable. When you got Schroeder and you got D'Lo and Reeves, interesting, man. Gonna be crazy. I don't know, man. If they won, they need to run it back and do what they got to do to run it back. The players got to make an exception and a team, but at the same time, you can't tell the players to turn down money. You never know what can happen in this league. You're a dribble away, a play away from a season-ending injury. You just never know. Not to say it will happen, but you never know. It can happen. So you have to go for the bread. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at the guys if they leave, but you would hope that they stay thinking that that it worked out in their best interest. Because if one thing is this too, once you win a ring, that's in your contract, so your money's automatically boosted whenever you go to any other team. So that's why KCP's still eating, and he's gonna continue to eat. And I'm pretty sure in his contract he has a player like a minutes clause or something, like you gotta play him. He getting paid a certain amount. He's a champion. Yeah. I see Reeves. I'm hoping Reeves stays too, man. The only reason why I say no is because it's out there that he wants the money, and who knows who's going to offer him how much. If somebody wants to offer him 30 and Lakers can only offer him 12, what is he going to do then? I don't know how the numbers are and how they match up, because you average a certain amount of points, this and that, you cover in a certain bracket. So I don't even know how it could all break down. But what if those things are like that? But like I said, with the Lakers in general, Lakers, Clippers, New York, maybe in Miami, like big market teams, you got other things off the court that can kind of make up for your money you lose on the court. So hopefully the Lakers can utilize that. Maybe AD, LeBron renegotiate their contracts with more benefits on other things and less money to get, do stuff like that. But who knows? I doubt it. Not telling nobody to do it. Take less money to get but to keep the team together. They have a nice youthful team that if they had another year together, it only can get better. They can only then go 10, 11 deep during the regular season. So LeBron and AD's minutes is down, and they still have a dominant team. That's how you keep a team together. That's how you build chemistry. That's how you have. That's what the Spurs was doing when they was on them runs. They had them 3 dominant stars, but they let a lot of their players play. So during the playoffs, they had enough reps underneath their belt to be effective in the playoffs too. And you saved Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker for years down the line. Duncan's career could have been over 2-3 years sooner if he didn't do the load management and having a deeper team. So with LeBron trying to play at least 2 more seasons to be in the league with his kid, they're gonna have to do that, bro. Run this team back. Let all them other guys get a lot more reps during the regular season. Bring LeBron's minutes down to like 25 to 30 during a regular season, and up into 30, 40 during the playoffs. Same thing with AD, and they could do some things. They got enough gunners on the team to do some things. They got enough young bigs to do some things. I'm, you know, I like the players on the team. I feel like it could be done. That's my personal opinion. Huh? In 1 hour is Ja 4 release, right? Which Ja 1? Damn, it's 2 in the morning right now. Don't even feel like it. We've been going for 3 hours. Shout out to you guys, man. I could probably go for another hour and a half. I don't think I'll do that, but I could. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, man. As long as we stand here, if for some reason my computer trips and cuts off, then I'll probably end it. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to end it. Then I'm chilling. We talking. If y'all got more stuff to pop up in the chat, we continue talking. You know what I mean? Yeah, see Reef Stand. I think that would be good. And the Ja 1, which one comes out tomorrow? Is it coming out? Are you talking about like on Foot Locker or something, or another platform? I'm looking to see right now. Why is my right as I'm trying to look at my Foot Locker thing, it doesn't come up now. Let me go to see. Let me do this then. Hold up. So yeah, I went through my Discord, so I'm gonna take that off. Once again, join the Discord if you guys feel like it. You know what I mean? It's a good thing to be down with, in tune with. Link is in the description box. You know what I'm saying? Link is definitely in the description box. And it's in the link in my bio on my account. Link in the bio on my account. Instagram account. Which color did John want tomorrow? Now I'm curious because they have the white ones. Oh, is it the mismatch one? I know two-tone grays come out tomorrow. The two-tone SB Dunk Low. Or that's already out, actually. I gotta go pick up some of those. Oh, you talking about the gray school colorway? I don't know. I don't see no other job come. Where you watching from? Because on my list, let me show you what I'm looking at. When I look at shoes that's coming out, I don't see the job release. So maybe you're in a different area. Maybe you're talking about like school day. Because what tomorrow is the 13th. So on Sneaker Bar Detroit, only thing for the 13th. There's nothing for the 13th. Maybe Sneaker News. They got some Reeboks, the Miami colorway, the NBO2 colorway, the fragment design on the Converse. I would like to see what that looks like in person. Don't want it personally at all, but I want to see what that looks like. But yeah, I don't see any Ja 1. The only Ja 1 is these two right here. This gray school exclusive colorway, and then the men's pair. But that's the only ones I've seen. Maybe your area just gets a different shoe. I don't know. But the second colorway of the Ja 1 is already in stores. And then, of course, the day one colorway that been sold out. We got to go to StockX or something like that for that shoe. But it shall remain to be seen what happens. Hopefully these guys can beat Denver. No injuries to the team. Get to the finals. Probably might meet up with Boston. And hopefully they can get that ring, man. They got to get another ring. That's what we need. But we can't exclude Denver. We can't just get past Denver. Denver's still a great team. They're a deep team too, and they use a lot of players. I don't know what their weakness really is. If you can't really shut down Joker. He does too much. If you try to, if Vanderbilt going to guard Joker full court, whether he brings the ball up or not, it's going to be a matchup. I mean, the matchup is supposed to be AD versus Joker, but in this NBA, we don't really get the matchups we want to see based on pick and rolls and things of that nature. They'll probably do things to try to keep AD away from the basket because Joker can't shoot threes. So, Vanderbilt guarding Joker it would be a smarter move. You don't have to feed into that one-on-one matchup. It's not back in the days where people cared about that one-on-one matchup like that. I'm sure there's still some fans who do, but at the end of the day, it's winning or losing. So when you hide from your challenge, it's not really frowned upon like it used to be. Before, you would see Duncan against Shaq every possession, Duncan against Shaq, Kareem versus Kareem. I mean Kareem versus whoever, but in my brain I was thinking Hakeem versus David Robinson, or Hakeem versus Patrick Ewing, or Patrick Ewing versus any other big man, Shaq or whatever. Those guys guarded each other. A lot of times you don't get the matchups because there's so many screen and rolls, and the people don't fight over the screen. They just go with the automatic switch, so you don't get too many matchups that you want to see in any position, They just do a pick and roll and get the guy off. It's a strategy. At one point, it might have seemed a little annoying, but it's a strategy. Shout out to the pick and roll gods, pick and roll gods of Karl Malone and John Stockton. I never seen the pick and roll utilized. Well, the pick and roll was utilized like this before. It's always been the same. Pick and roll, pick and pop. Malone did both. Pick and dive, pick and roll, pick and pop. You know what I mean? But now it's just like everybody's doing it. It's definitely done so many times in the game. I would love to know the amount of pick and rolls ran in each game. Like it's 1,000,001 pick and rolls, and it's no longer the old way of doing it was the point guard and the big. Now you got bigs on bigs, bigs on littles, littles on bigs when it comes to pick and rolls because all it's about is getting that switch. Yeah, my bad. I keep yawning. I'm not tired, but I guess I'm tired at some point because I keep yawning. But yeah, I wonder what would Stockton Malone be like in today's NBA with the pick and roll, because that's what they was mastering. That's what they were killing it with. That's why Malone got so many points. Stockton had so many assists. That pick and roll magic. It's so crazy how that pick and roll magic is working from back then and it's working now. Hard to defend no matter, I mean, if you don't have the effort, the tough effort, because you can fight over screens, but you can only fight over so many screens. Tired of banging bodies, almost banging knees, dodging. It's a little bit annoying, So when you got to play defense on somebody like Curry, you got to run around so many screens for him trying to get the ball. Then he gets the ball, he gets 3 or 4 more screens. Then he can dance with the ball too. That's a hard cover right there, boy. I'm glad they got rid of that dude at 6 so he couldn't creep back. Before I get out of here, let me talk about some other things. I have pulled these things to a side. Sometime during the live streams, I want to try and pull out shoes during my collection just to kind of keep going through shoes. Because, it's hard to get a whole sneaker collection thing in, So, a couple shoes, some of the things most recently added. We got some Black Cortez. Classic shoe right here. Haven't broke these out even to wear them yet. I think maybe once. But classic Cortez, you don't see them too often. And when you do see them, if they're in these basic colorways, they kind of do sell out because people still want them. I hear people are taxing for these too, which is crazy to see that people are taxing for Cortez. Such a clean shoe though. Another shoe I want to talk about briefly is the Zoom Rookie. I have these in a few colorways: the Galaxy colorway, the glow in the dark colorway, this one, and like a navy blue one. These were kind of really appealing to me. It's like out the foam posit family, you know what I'm saying? For sure, out the foam posit family. Yeah, Penny Hardaway, you got the 1 cent on the tongue right there. Very clean colorway. Definitely hard to find this one. Got a little weight to it, but it's a cool shoe. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I'm a fan of foam posits and foam posit like shoes. This is like a combination of his foam posit plus the shoe before his #1 silhouette with these pods. Dope collab right here of two shoes, or a fusion of two shoes, if you will. Pretty dope shoe right there. You definitely don't see the Zoom Rickies too much more. They did bring those out recently in the Galaxy colorway not too long ago. I think we did a review on a channel long ass time ago. Long time ago. Got some Jordan 5s right here with the super age going on. You see the yellowing on the outsole. Jordan 5s are comfortable. Recently got my last Jordan 5, which was those the UNC 5s. Thinking about the maroon 5s, but I don't know. You see the yellowing on that, bro? It's called aged. What year is this from? 06, my guys. 06. Look at that leather. These are definitely on point. 06. Yeah. Pretty dope Jordan 5. Next up, a shoe that's a sleeper that is this right here is super beat up. I don't even wear it no more because I don't know if it's this one. No, the other shoe is talking to me already. But you know, they got the shoes out there that are, you know, Mike Rich will call them the Jordan Nothings, or just other Jordans, you know, the 6 rings, the spikes, the 2 trays now. They got a few of those type of shoes. I think the spikes are not bad. I'm not mad at the spikes. I actually have one spike in my collection. If I can find this colorway again, I might purchase it again. But this colorway was definitely one of the best spikes ever to come out, in my opinion, with the elephant print, the color combination. Got the stitched in 23 on the back. Spike Lee right there, too. What? You cannot go wrong with these. You see the cracking right there in the midsole. My other shoe is kind of talking to me right there. But these are, I like them, man. I like the Dove Zeros or the Spizikes. Outsole. This color combination was on point. When they first came out and they were new, they looked crazy, bro. I like the stitched in back, though. These are definitely dope, man. Definitely dope Jordans. Jordan others. The pull tab, we got the Jordan 6 tongue. These was definitely on point. Quality was good on these two. Like I said, had them for so long. The shoes separating. This is from 2010. Yeah, it's 2010 pair. She got the lace lock on them. Very dope shoe right here too. Be on the lookout if you guys are looking for high school sports or college sports. Elijah Arenas is definitely a new baller, killing it out here. We got the special edition Adidas TS Light Strike Gill shoe. Bugs Bunny on the back. One of the special releases too. Dope colorway. This model will be coming out, I think, later this year. I don't know if this colorway will be dropping, but this shoe right here is definitely on point. I haven't worn these in a minute too. But these were pretty good on the court. I'm not even gonna lie. I loved hooping in them. Got like Bugs Bunny and stuff detailing laser all on the shoe. Laser all on there. Detailing is crazy on these. My boy been doing it with these sneakers for a long time, bro. Long time. Nike Lacoste cleats. I can't even speak. Nike Lacoste cleats. I have not seen that yet. No. What stores have you found that at, or seen it at, or heard it with that? Have not found those yet. How much are they going for at the stores? That sounds like it's gonna be a good flip right there. Nike Lacoste. I feel like that would be a pretty good flip. What are they retailing for in the stores? Let me know. $19.99. Wow. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing. I definitely will look out for them. I was talking about some of my finds earlier in the stream. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out a little earlier. Did come across some good stuff. I feel like you do some flipping too. But haven't seen those yet. I will be on the lookout for those. One One thing I spoke about earlier that's going around, that's a good flip right now. If you might have seen them already, the all white 4.0 Ultra Boost, Nike Alpha Hirachi 8 Elite. Okay. Okay. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look those up and check them out. Ultra Boost 4.0 in the white colorway for $39. That's definitely something to be on the lookout for if you have not found out already. Good resale value. I sold that thing instantly. So that's definitely a good find too. But I'm going to be looking for those Lacoste cleats for sure. Bolos is always good. I share some of that stuff on my Discord also. I do have a section for RA and RA pickups. So, share. I got information in there to be shared, vice versa. Yeah, the Ultra Boost. Yep. Oh, okay, so you posted the white ones. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I know who you are then. Yeah, I found them too. Them things is good finds, not the cleats. Oh, so those are cleats you posted then. Okay, okay, for sure. Okay, for sure. I appreciate that too. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that information, bro. And anything I can share, I definitely do in the videos and in the Discord as well, because it's about sharing information. Not everybody's in the same area, so helping each other out for their areas is good. It's good karma too. You give some information out, information to come back to you in different forms or from the same person you gave information to. And then the last one I'll get into for my sneakers is this foam posit, because like I said, I am a foam posit head, even though I haven't bought any foam posits recently. The Spidey foam posits, as we got the Spider-Man coming out. I think I'm going to go see that movie just to go see it, see what it's about. I still haven't watched that Air movie yet. I have to watch that over this weekend just to see what that's about. I mean, that's a sneaker movie. Why haven't I watched it yet? But yeah, the Spider-Man movie coming out. I'll probably wear these when I go see the Spider-Man movie just to be in a little theme, just for shits and giggles, whatever. Pretty dope colorway. Really one of the creative foam posits out there. Really good condition still, Take care of my foams. Don't wear them a lot. Classic shoe. Got the little stitching right there too. I'm pretty sure at some point they're gonna bring these out too, like they do all the time. They bring out some old stuff, which is a good thing. Foam Posit Pro, because they got the swoosh there. My bad. Forgot about that part. But yeah, one of the many foam posits in my collection that I love. Pretty cool situation. I sold my Ultra Boost for $131. I kind of lowballed it. But you could probably sell them for a little more than that. But for me, one sold for $131, the other one sold for $150. But the one that I have for $131, that thing sold within the hour of me posting it, bro. Like I like that. I like that. It hasn't happened too many times. It's happened a couple times with some things, but not like this, not that quickly. Like I found the shoe. Once I realized I was gonna take the shoe, I put them up inside the store, looked around a little bit more, got out, went to the car, went and got me some food. The shit sold. I was like, what? That's fire. Let's do that again. Can I find some more? And I went and looked for some more. Didn't find no more yet. But they're floating around. I know they're not done. I need to go to these stores and start getting cool with the managers at these other stores, like I tell people to do for the Foot Lockers and stuff. Because damn, imagine getting that shoe with the full box for $39. That you can sell. I can sell them on Amazon, StockX. Then, if I'm able to get things from these stores with the full box, because they have the full box, they come in full boxes. They just take everything out the shoe, everything out, and then put it on the shelf. So they do have full boxes. If you know how the system works, you can go to their storage or their trash, their dumpsters, and get all the boxes out the trash and have the shoes match up. I don't feel like doing that, but it's possible to do that. Is that too crazy doing that? Or the genius doing that? They don't destroy the boxes, they just throw them in the trash. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Maybe you do, but you don't know when they throw out the trash. You gotta get cool with the people to know their little schedule to do that. Only reason why I know that is because I used to work for that type of system. So I'm like, damn, maybe I should, Yeah, no, they definitely have the full box because I used to work for one, and we get the full box, take out the tissue paper and all inserts, take out all the things, everything, and just put the shoes on the shelves. But they have the whole box. The box will be in the trash with the inserts and everything in the box. If you know where they throw out their trash, you can go get the trash and get the boxes and then go, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a win. Maybe I might make some content on that. Maybe I might make some content on that on Bobby Thrift. I'm about to start talking to some of the managers at these stores, and I'm gonna go to my old location and see if I can talk to some people. Because the thing is, Marshalls haven't really been having it as far as like the sneakers. They have been having some things, but not like Ross and Burlington. I got to talk to the Ross and Burlington people about getting them full boxes. Because shout out to the homie Drum, aka Doug. He was one who told me about that before I realized I could do it when I worked there. Because I think he said that no, I mentioned to him afterwards. So I knew about it before, but when he told me he was doing that because he has a connect. I'm not saying too much, right? No, because he deals with a lot of different people. Yeah, you just gotta get cool with these people, man. They're human. You hook them up, they hook you up. You know what I mean? Getting the full box, having somebody with the insight to let you know we got these, you want these, just like you would do a. Yeah, bro, I'm over. You don't have too much sauce, but that's what it's here for. You guys are here with me at 2 a.m, so you should definitely get the sauce. Yeah, just become cool with the guys who work there. You go there a lot, they see you a lot, make conversation with them like they're normal people, like you would normally do. Maybe every now and then, if you come across some good finds, have some Starbucks gift cards on you, shoot them a gift card or two. That'll make their day. That'll make them want to give you more information. You keep the information nip tucked so nobody else knows. That's what I'm about to do too. I'm about to take my own advice and get back into it with these stores right around me. Because if I could get the full box of Ultra Boost with the full box for $39, that's crazy. That's easily 190 on Amazon, 180, 190, 175, or any other place. So like, yeah, that's definitely a work. That's something I'm working on. I know a couple of them, but I don't talk to them like that. I talk to them enough to say hi, how you doing, boom, 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 and that's it. I don't ask information about stock and all that type of shit. But now because it hadn't been worth it, now it seems to be worth it. And it's actually you don't even really always talk to the managers. You got to talk to like the workers. They might even have the sneak to do what they doing type shit. But then again, no, managers are important too because managers will be cool with it. Managers will be cool with it, and you can just do it without a hassle. So go both routes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ross and Burlington are definitely on fire, and yeah, not going to Marshalls right now. I every now and then I'm by a Marshalls and I peek in there because at one point the ones that I go to, I have found some gems at these spots, but they just not back there. I don't know. Their contract had been renewed with Nike because they're getting a lot of like Nike apparel and accessories, but just the good shoes ain't really there like that. They might get some shoes that doesn't work, some Nikes that don't do no resale, but like they're not at all like they used to be. But Burlington is on point, and definitely Ross and them is on point. Um, this is the time to hit the stores up, man. It's turning up all the way around the board, man. It's trickling down and turning up, which is a good thing to see. But once again, from my past experience, I know how much more picky I have to be because, like, getting shoes, I've buying so many different things. I do have inventory from 2 years ago. I mean, you know what? One thing that messed me up, though, I'm not even gonna lie. One part that I have to honestly take credit for, or not credit for, but have as a legit reason why I have so many things still is because the pandemic hit, bro. I had got a lot of my inventory right before that, right around that, right when it opened back up, and that stuff, a lot of that stuff, some of it I procrastinated and didn't put it up while it was in season, so I had to wait the whole another year. And then if I put it up, I might have either put it up trying to get the original price I could think I could get, but you had to put it for much lower. So yeah, it's like it's got to be real selective and picky on the things you grab, and just make sure you do 2 and 3 type of research, which I did research before. It wasn't like I was buying blind. I was not, but the things that you can't, the economy and just things happen out of my control that allowed that shit to happen. So that's the whole thing, you know. So I see so many good finds that I would have probably scooped up before. Like now, like just an example, I could go to a store and see 10 things that were good, and I would have probably got 9 of them, 8 of them. Now I see 10 things, I might get 1 or 2 of them. If there's different objects, different things, and because we're not trying. I got a lot of stuff I'm still getting rid of now, so I just need to make sure I get rid of it before I start piling up new shit. You know what I mean? It's a strategy to everything. Yeah, yeah, got to be more selective, bro. That's the way to be, because buyer's remorse sucks, and I started getting a lot of buyer's remorse. Just and that's not sitting well with you all day. you know, it holds you up from doing more stuff because you're not trying to put more money into it. You want to fluctuate off the money that you put into it already. To have to keep dipping into new money to get more, I don't. Nah, mm-mm. And like I said, a lot of things were good buys. It's just the market for things changed. So does that make it a bad buy to start with? I don't think so, because at first it was a good buy. And it's still not a bad buy if I'm able to break even. If I'm able to still get my money back, that's not a bad buy. A bad buy is when you lose money. If you breaking even, that's not a bad buy technically, because you didn't lose any money. Like if you spend 40 for something and you got back 41 or $40 or even $39. Okay, you lost $1 technically, but you still didn't lose because you're right where you were at. One thing I like about the goat option out here, I don't know about every other location, every other state, but out here, GOAT in LA, if you sell a shoe on GOAT and you drop it off, they give you $5 credit for dropping it off as opposed to shipping it in. So you might lose $5 on the original price or $6, $7 on the original sale, but you drop it off, you gain some of that back. So like I said, as long as you're able to break even, you're not really losing. So that's kind of how I feel about it. So I don't have too many bad buys where it's just like, oh man, I just got to get rid of this shit, period, because it's like nothing. And I'm losing money on it. It's just things that I can't get what I thought I was gonna get for them. That's just what it is. That's just the game, man. You gotta live and learn, and you gotta adjust and adapt to it, bro. And it's fun. And like I said, it's really good to see Ross getting back to where it's at, because it was dry definitely for a minute. It was definitely nothing in there for a while. And even with the clothes, man, I really don't go through the clothes too much. The way I sift through the clothes now is just different. I like kind of scan through it with my eyes. I don't even really touch a lot. That might be bad because you can miss up on some stuff. But if you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for, you know the tags, you know the type of things you're gonna see. You can tell when something's gonna be good enough to look at or not, based on the side profile. I think that's what I've been able to see. I don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type shit like I used to do. you know. But everybody's lane is their lane, and they do what they do. Hopefully you're able to do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. The grind don't stop. Keep your energy up and be patient. Shout out to everybody who's watching this stream from any one of the YouTube channels. I do appreciate that. Wherever you're watching from, if you can do me the favor and hit the like button. If you're watching on the replay, hit the like button. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. Let me know you're watching on the replay. I like to see how many people are, because the people are definitely watching after live. I like to see who come through and interact and chop it up, and who watches. I need to know my feedback so I know what I'm dealing with going forward. But regardless, we grinding. Like I said, we doing all 3 channels each time I stream. So whatever platform you're watching me on or channel you're watching me on, I appreciate it. And the grind don't stop, bro. I'm about to get out of here and get ready for my Saturday. Damn, it's 2:30 on the West Coast. Damn. We went in tonight. I went in a little later. I didn't mean to go in so late, like start late, but some things just be happening. But at the end of the day, we were definitely doing our thing. It was dry for too long, bro. Too long. And you would hear people laughing and joking about that. Oh, Ross's Marshalls ain't doing nothing, huh? What they gonna do now? What they gonna do now? Oh, now they all want to go to the stores. Like, yeah, you gotta adapt, man. When something happens, you gotta move here. When this happens, you gotta move there. Now you can move back to Ross and Burlington. But it's just a tricky game, man. Because some of these stores still they're still might be charging a little bit more there too, which is crazy. Like, y'all don't understand what y'all doing too. To each his own. Do what works for you. Mind your business. Stay positive and all that good stuff, man. Lakers in 6 against Denver. That's the plan. Lakers versus Boston in the finals. I'm calling it now, and hopefully the Lakers, LeBron, can get another ring. That's the thing. Get another ring. No rebounds, no ring, and it don't mean a thing unless you get the ring. So hopefully they get it all. Rebounds and rings. AD get the rebounds, LeBron gets the rings. And they need to bring back that game of zones. I thought what happened with Bleacher Report. I need to leave some messages on Bleacher Report's Instagram or something. They used to have this thing I used to react to called Game of Zones. It was a cartoon about the NBA and the playoffs, or the NBA and the season. It was some of the funniest stuff ever. I'm mad that they didn't, that they haven't brought it back in a few seasons. They need to bring it back. But maybe with this whole writer's strike, they might not be bringing it back anytime soon. I could keep going. I could keep finding things to talk about and keep going. So I'm gonna stop it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit that like button. Keep your energy up and high. Thank you for the energy that you guys shown with me tonight. And I'll see y'all in the next live stream, aka / podcast. You dig? Peace.